Evening, everyone. Welcome along to the MODUS Super Series. Friday night sees the final path towards qualification for tomorrow evening's final here in Portsmouth. And less than a week on from Jim McEwen picking up the £20,000 jackpot, we're going to put our first name into the Series 6 Roll of Honour, where someone called the King of the Castle, well, he is top of the class. Danny Smith can feel hard done by after the first night's affairs. No points was by no means a reflection of his level of play. Champions Week finalist last week, Rob Grundy's in danger of missing out on Saturday this time around. 2 points means a tall order for the Hartley Pudlian. Willie Borland had a mix and match night on Thursday. His 2 wins sees him in 3rd spot. The real Big H stood up to the fight last night. Harry Ward won 3 from 4 and is in a good position to progress. But Jared Cole is top of the pile, having won 4 from 4 yesterday. Can the King of the Castle make the Church's manor this week? Yeah, Jared Cole is the king of Group B as things stand, and it's a Friday night rendezvous with Scott Mitchell this evening. Scott, this was probably one of the best nights action we ever saw at the Super Series when Group B got underway yesterday.
It was an absolute barn burner, wanting to coin the phrase. It really got going really very quickly, and we were all getting very excited by about Game 5. It was just a sensational evening of darts.
Yeah, it really was quite the session. Right, we're getting towards the point where we know half of the field for tomorrow night's final. So let's break down the tournament bracket. We knew Thibaut Tricol qualified on Wednesday through Group A, and we put the next 2 names in the hat earlier on this afternoon when Group C came to its culmination. And it was the local lad Charlie Large that won the group from the exciting German talent, in more ways than one, it should be said, Nico Blum in 2nd spot. And for Charlie, he's been here a few times, wasn't quite successful in the past, but this time around, there was an opportunity for everybody there, and Charlie was the one that was able to make most advantage of that.
Absolutely. After the good day yesterday, we've seen people do great days on one day and then come in and sort of stumble and limp over the line. Charlie didn't do that at all. He absolutely bossed the first 2 games, and then it was just his to control. And for a young man, it was very mature performance.
Yeah, certainly a large head on young shoulders. Right, so that is how the tournament bracket breaks down. We're going to find out the final 3 identities tonight when Group B gets underway. There's one player in command of the table, and that's Jared Cole. And this is how it occupies itself following the first night's play. Harry Ward was the next best player, having picked up 6 points. Willie Borland on 4, and in the uniform table, Will Grundy picked up 1 win. And poor old Danny Smith, who played some of the best darts we've seen from him here at the Super Series, averaged 84 over the course of the night, but couldn't get a victory, bless him. And
that just shows how good the averages were with the group. Danny's one of those, he's a determined player, and I knew that he wasn't going to be out of his depth here. And yeah, look, he has a chance to be the spoiler tonight, and there's nothing more that Danny likes than being the spoiler.
Well, Jared Cole came into last night as the outsider of the pack. He now, perhaps unsurprisingly, has moved into group favourite. And what for you about Jared's performances yesterday impressed you the most?
There are always big moments in a game, and there are always turning points in a game. And Jared hit every one of those last night. He got it right. He didn't have the highest average of the 5 guys overall at the end of the night, but he was top of the table. And averages don't mean anything. If you're top of the table, that's where the points are, and that's what you need. But I just think that he was mature in places where, you know, in the past maybe he's fluffed his lines a little.
When we've spoken about Jared, we've spoken about him in the highest possible ways, but we've also said that maybe he's at a point of his career. He's 23, a couple more years left on the development tour. Maybe it's time for him to take the next step. And nights like last night, it's just showing that maybe he's putting the right foundations in place.
Yeah, I think a few things have changed in his life. He's moved down south now, and you know, things seem to be working for him nicely. And he's a nice lad as well. So you know, it's lovely to see really that he's getting it right.
Yeah, good guys game this. Right, let's have a look and see what the bet builder is saying. The series pays just under 11 to 1. Harry Ward in the 180 stakes against Rob Grundy. Again, Danny Smith in the 180 market against Rob Grundy. It's basically a night where our punters at home think that 180s are going to rain like confetti at a Greek wedding.
Well, there were 28 180s last night in 10 games. So 2.8 180s a game. See, I'm clever with the numbers, aren't I?
Oh, you're
I know,
good.
I
You're
know
good.
numbers. So, yeah, so I can see why they've gone the 180 route, because it was a big 180 route.
Hey, those coloured charts, they're coming in handy, aren't they?
Well, I've got a nice little colour chart. I had a little, a little bit to myself here before we started this evening. So, yes, I've coloured mine in. I know exactly what you're doing. And there's a few bits of pink on my sheet back in the comms box.
Good to hear. Right, let's get into tonight's action, shall we? Kick off with Harry Ward up against Danny Smith. For Harry, he won 3 out of 4 yesterday, looking to make it through to finals night. And early on the scene, Chris Murphy caught up with him.
Harry, second night of Group B, a really good night last night. How do you rate your performances yesterday?
Oh, I'm obviously really happy. Compared to Group A, it was a lot better. Started off really well. My first dart was going in. That was why there were so many 180s. I know I lost to Jared, but Jared had a good night. Obviously, we both had 100-plus averages. Can't moan. Like I said, I've always said losing matches isn't the frustrating thing. It's losing and playing not very well. So losing with a 102 or whatever average it was, I was happy with that. And I think I'm one of them players that always gets better throughout the week. So hoping tonight I can do similar again and qualify for Saturday.
It seemed like everybody was playing quite well last night. Is that what you were expecting again this evening?
Yeah, obviously, I know Danny's bottom of the group, but Danny played well. And he was an unknown entity to me. Willie, we'd never met him before, and really good guy. Obviously plays good darts, so he's not out of it tonight. Anyone in that room can come in and win 4 out of 4. But I'm in a good place, second place, won 3 out of 4. Hopefully tonight, a couple of wins will do it, and I'm feeling good.
You've been getting to finals nights, you've been knocking on the door. Is it a target of yours to get one of those wins and get to Champions Week here?
Of course, yeah. You know, 2 semi-finals now. I think I was a bit disappointed with the last semi-final because I seemed to drop off against Andy. Started the night off really well against Luke. Probably could have won that game. It never should, but I know the game's there, and first of 4 I can beat anyone, and hopefully I prove that tonight and maybe tomorrow night as well.
And a few more big checkouts for us this evening?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Obviously, last night, I think that 1-6-7 against Rob was changed my night. I knew I was playing well, but that put me 3-2 up and basically won me that game and spurred me on for the rest of the night. So tonight we'll see. Maybe go one high. I'll try and leave a 170, but if not, just the wins will do.
We'll look forward to it. Good luck.
Thank you.
Here we go then. First game on our Friday night fling here at the Super Series sees Harry Ward in action up against Danny Smith. Big H looking for some big W's to land his way into Saturday night. And in the commentary box to describe all the action, Scott Mitchell has hot-footed his way down to the booth to join Chris Murphy. Hello, Chris.
Hello, Henry. Hello, everybody. And welcome to the final throws. In terms of trying to make it to finals night, Harry Ward is looking in a good position to get there. Big H sitting in second place, as discussed in that chat with him earlier tonight. And Danny Smith from Portsmouth, well, he'll have work to do. 4 points adrift for third place, Willie Borland, with Rob Grundy on 2 points between them. Paul Hinks, refereeing royalty, overseeing proceedings this evening. And he'll have plenty of big checkouts and plenty of 180s to call if they start tonight like they started last night. It was the most remarkable opening few encounters that we've seen for some time in a
80.
Group B. They hit the ground running on Thursday. Can they carry it on Friday? What say you, Scott?
Well, let's hope so, because it made us sit up and look, didn't it? It bulked right upright, and here we go.
140.
Nearly right on cue there, Murph, for Harry Ward.
He was smashing them in for fun last night, wasn't he? Plus the big checkouts, the 167 in his first match against Rob Grundy. He said it turned his night. He said that was the catalyst for everything that followed. Sometimes it can be.
Yeah, it can be. He's hit 9 180s in 4 games last night, Harry Ward.
58.
Some going.
132.
No need to bother with the bullseye on 132 with Danny Smith not on any kind of outshot. You just try and leave double 16.
60.
Just in comparison, Danny Smith didn't win a game last night, and he had 5 180s in 4 games. That was the standard last night.
137.
Well, if it goes Ward's
Harry
way this match,
72.
he'll be on 8 points, and as good as that finals night yet again. Back-to-back semi-finals he's made. Looking to go 1 or 2 steps further. And
Game shot
that
on the first
is a
leg.
perfectly
Harry
pitched start
Ward.
in tops, and the first leg in the ledger for Big H.
Yeah, that
Second
settles you
leg Danny
down on
through
the start of
first.
an
Game
evening.
on.
And you ask yourself to hit tops and you hit it. Just looks a very relaxed character
32.
with his darts at the moment, Harry Ward. I can tell you there are phases through darts where you're rising up through and you really, really enjoy it. And there's points
39.
where, you know, when it does start to become more job-like, it can become a chore and you start to think about it day, noon and night. And
85.
then all of a sudden it comes back to you as a bit of fun again, as you don't expect too much of yourself. And that's where it all comes from. Expectation.
123. $43.
But he'll start to cut a frustrated figure pretty quickly, won't he, old desperate Dan, if he starts running into the kind of performance as he
93.
did last night. He'll go from thinking it's not my night to it's not my week. Go on then, Mr. Hinks.
125.
125, the call from Paul Hinks after Smith went wayward. Want to hear him bellow that maximum call as many times as possible tonight.
50.
Did actually, Paul Hinks, when he first started reffing on the big stage, incorporate the word maximum into his 180 call. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Well, you should watch our YouTube channel then, shouldn't you?
140.
See what you did there.
Yeah, all the story behind his iconic 180 across our social
60.
media. Have a search.
Daniel
Paul
Carr,
Hinks,
76.
the MODUS Super Series, you'll find it. I won't give away where it came from. Is he going to be calling game
Game
shot
shot of the
here? Yes,
second
he
leg.
is.
Danny
As
Smith.
Danny Smith responds to that 72 out from Harry Ward with a 76 out of his own.
Third leg Harry to through first. Game on.
Both on 100% checkouts, early doors here.
$96.
Back to Danny Smith when he arrived this evening, and he was saying, you know, he enjoyed last
59.
night, even though he didn't win a game. That was frustrating. But he was happy to be there and thereabouts in each game, and that's exactly what you need to be. It's a tough old group with what you would call current
60.
players in amongst it.
It's interesting to hear from Harry. They were saying that himself and Willie Borden, they never met Danny Smith,
31.
never really heard much about him, but could see pretty quickly that he was capable. Did miss match darts as well, didn't he? In one of those games
47.
last night. It was actually against Jared Cole, who won all of his matches.
I remember Danny having a
99.
bit of a run back at one of the England Opens down at Selsey, I think, a few years back. I marked a game where he played Gary Robson, and Gary Robson
100.
World champion marking.
probably wasn't the world champ then. Yeah, I probably was actually. I don't. Sometimes it's the best place for me to get me out of the way,
114.
particularly if I've lost a game. Just stand by the board and sulk.
Say no showbiz about Scott Mitchell. Remains humble.
26.
As you have to be when you're up at the crack of dawn milking cows.
Yeah, I don't quite do that, but yes.
92.
We don't mess about on the farm. We're always up, around and about, nice and early. Not many lay-ins.
But is Danny Smith planting a few seeds
60.
here because he's
Daniel Carr,
got himself
80.
down to a nice 2-darter, similar range to the previous leg, and he could be putting Harry Ward under some early pressure if he can find tops again.
40. Daniel Carr, 112.
Almost tried to float it over the top of the one. It was underneath, but Didn't quite. So Harry's now got one. It's a problem dart. He's going round the outside. Hits it beautifully. Takes his step. Takes his spot. Double 16.
96. Daniel Carr, 40.
Wasn't to be. So Danny comes back for the 40 and a breaker throw.
Game shot on the third leg. Danny Smith.
Very nicely done for Danny Smith.
Fourth leg, Danny to throw first. Game on. One out of them, 40. $100. $60.
That first dart just a bit low from Reward
96.
again.
$93. $60.
Another troublous visit from Ward. In music to Danny Smith's ears. He's now
84.
picked up a big, big treble last dart there. Just about to say you wouldn't bet against
One
a
out of
140 here with
Daniel
that
Carr,
first dart, and that's
124.
exactly what's happened. Danny Smith on 124. Treble 18, it's the bullseye.
93.
Would have been a
Daniel
dream
Carr,
start. How do you
105.
hit the bullseye?
But it's quite similar to the previous leg. Harry Ward left on 100 and something then, left on 100 and something now. He gets that down to 32, but he can't get it
89.
down
Daniel
to
Carr,
0.
31.
So Smith returns, needs to just burn a dart to get to a finish. Opts for double 10, double 5.
26.
Double 5
How do
is
you
the
call
problem from the
16?
double 10 route. 15 was the shot there, but
Game shot on
Danny
the fourth
obviously
leg. Harry Ward.
fancied double 10. Hasn't been
Fifth leg,
kind
Harry
on
to
this
throw
occasion.
first. Game on. $98. $100.
Only a steadier start this evening. Yesterday, guys know a
55.
little bit more about one another. Doesn't seem so gung-ho as it was yesterday. The pace, the game a little bit slower than what we were seeing
59.
yesterday. It almost got to a bit rat-tat-tat, didn't it, early doors? And
It almost seems like a last game of the night, doesn't it, this? It's a little lethargic.
1 out of them, 40.
I think it's more to do with, you know, the importance. 3 going to Saturday night, 2 do not.
180.
There is that beautiful sound, well known to darts connoisseurs around the world. But the 180 doesn't get Danny Smith
60.
down to a finish, and Harry Ward is. And remember last night, he took out some enormous checkouts that really started his night.
105. How do you
Could
count?
this be
148.
a similar scenario?
Oh, 2 beautiful darts from Harry Ward.
120. Daniel
Not
Carr,
quite to be.
57.
A double 14, so Smith on 57 after 12. Not too shabby at all. Tops for Smith. A bounce off the barrel.
37.
Didn't use
Daniel
it.
Carr,
Dragged
28.
it slightly to the left. Harry Ward. Hold a throw. Double 7. Can be dodgy. And that's the reason why.
No score. Daniel Carr 20.
2 10s then for Daniel Smith. And he
Game
finds
shot
them.
on the fifth leg.
And he
Danny Smith.
leads. Well, it's been a real nip and tuck game, break after break after break. The first 2 legs went with the throw, and every leg since has
Sixth
gone
leg Danny
against
did
it.
through first. Game on.
And if Smith can get a hold here, he will get his first points in the group. Not only that, him getting points in the group would mean that getting 10 points would definitely be enough. So
60.
his game against Jared Cole in game 3, there would then be the scenario that Cole would definitely go through if he won it.
93.
You were unable to watch the action this
59.
afternoon. A reminder that Charlie Larger, Portsmouth local, won the group. Former World Youth finalist, like Harry Ward.
134.
Yeah, he got through, and he'll be bringing plenty from Pompey with him to the live lounge on Saturday night. And you could be there too. Tickets are available by scanning that QR
96.
code or heading to dartshop.tv. You can book tickets for a very small booking fee for any of our Saturday nights, that exclusive VIP feel in the intimate surroundings of the Super
100.
Series. And there'll be a fair few supporting one player in particular. Might be a few more if Danny Smith manages to turn things around and get through, because he's from this part of the
100.
world as well. But we've got a German in Nico Blum and a Frenchman in Thibaut Tricol as well.
Very international flavour to our Saturday night.
134.
Can't manage to follow up those breaks of throw, can he, Danny Smith? Got himself in a very good
100.
position in this
Hallier
game,
Carr,
but if
40.
Ward pops tops, then he becomes favourite, as he will have the darts in the decider. Couldn't pop tops. Can't find double 10. Can he find double 5? No, he
35.
can't. So
Daniel
suddenly
Carr,
Smith
86.
has the opportunity to seal his first win of Group B. Locates the treble. Double 8. And he's done
Game
it.
shot on the match.
Danny Smith picks up an early victory that makes this group very, very interesting from the off. Couldn't get a win last night, but he gets one at the start of tonight. Danny's not so desperate anymore. He's got some points on the board. He's actually now lifted himself off the foot of the table, ahead of Rob Grundy by a leg. Harry Ward stuck on 6 points, still looking in a good spot, but have to pick up a win or two somewhere. And Rob Grundy certainly needs to respond to that. He takes on Willie Borland after the break.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series. There was a case of a different day and a change of fortunes as far as Danny Smith was concerned. He's got his first win of the group, having got the better of Harry Ward by 4 legs to 2. And that result basically makes everybody's route to qualification just that tad bit easier in terms of how they're going to get there. 10 points now is going to be enough to go through to the finals tomorrow. Willie Borland begins the night on 4 points, while Grundy begins on 2, and they go toe-to-toe in their first games of the evening, being watched by Scott Mitchell and Chris Murphy.
Yeah, well said, Henry. For Rob Grundy, that 10 points would mean winning all of his matches tonight. So, sounds simple, but it won't be
First leg
simple. As
Rob
for Willie
to throw
Borland,
first.
he would need to win
Game on.
3, having won 2 last night. But, of course, players will get through on less than 10 points. That's just a guarantee at this stage. And Jared Cole can do it by winning his next match. Danny Smith, of course, the only player
97.
who would be unable to get to that tally, having been pointless last night. But he's got an opening win. And last night was
100.
about high quality. Maybe tonight, Scott, might be about a few spanners being thrown into the works. We've certainly had one already.
Yeah, we sure have. And this corresponding fixture last night,
58.
Willie Borland beat Rob Grundy 4-1. So Grundy will be looking for a little bit of revenge on
41.
that.
$60.
He's another player who will rue missed opportunities
60.
from the first night of Group B. Determined, of course, to get back on the stage, having been there on Saturday at Champions Night. The 167 against Harry Ward. We said that it was a catalyst for Ward's night. But
97.
was it the sort of damage early to Rob Grundy that he didn't really recover from? He did win his next
94.
game against Danny Smith, but that turned out to be the only game he won.
Yeah, it was, and that's kind of what's put him in the predicament. But he started really well. His actual highest average last night was in
97.
that first game at 96.95, but he ended the evening with a running average
96.
over the 4
Rob
games
Ducan,
of
92.
87.37. So he dropped off a little from there, and maybe that's the story of the tale a little bit as well. Trying to put things right now. Double 16 coming
Game
in.
shot on the first leg.
What a
Rob
tidy
Grundy.
92 finish there from Grundy to hold throw.
Second leg William to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, they were really sublime darts. Starting on the bull, ending on
80.
double 16. Rob Grundy would pull level on points with Willie Borland if he were to win this match, and that would make things even more interesting because suddenly Danny Smith's back in the equation, only
100.
2 points behind Borland. If Borland wins this game, then, well, it's as you were, really.
140.
Rob Grundy would be in a worse position. Danny Smith would be no better off despite that victory. So a Grundy win is what makes this group very, very interesting.
100.
Yeah, it does. It would. Only 2 of the 5 are going to miss out.
140.
So that keeps this group always interesting right to the last moments, usually. It's a 1 there,
40.
Rob Grundy, and little chat to himself. I think he said give over or get over. Talking to his darts.
$98.
Holland looks in command here in leg 2.
$57. Willie O'Carr, 43.
Oh, which way will Willie go here? 11 for double 16.
Game shot on the
Double
second
8
leg.
tidied
Willie
up nicely.
Borland.
That 43 bread and butter shot. They're only bread and butter if you get them.
Third leg Rob to throw first. Game on.
And a lot of players will practice those shots. 40 to 80. The ones where you do not need treble to get a double.
140.
A start from Grundy here in leg 3. He's being followed now by Borland.
180.
Pops in a 180 rather nonchalantly, like I do it all the time.
He does love fast flinging,
100.
speedy scoring, terrific trebling. Oh, look at this.
140.
Of course, the man who had that famous 9-darter at Ali Pali, something he'll always be remembered for, to win a match at the World Championship. What a feeling that must have been. He'd have been up there with Lionel Richie at the end of the
57.
night, I'm sure.
Absolutely, but you know, as a young man, you can have big moments like that, and they can stop you as your career
77.
moves forward. Everybody thinks it's a great thing to have happened, but you know, you can be reminded of it and reminded of it, and you remember the feeling at that moment, and you're looking for that feeling for the rest of your career. And big moments like that,
43.
sometimes they
William
don't come
Carl,
along as often as you'd
104.
hope.
$61.
Slipped into
Robbie
the wrong
Carl,
bed there.
161.
161 an offer for Rob Grundy. Now, he had a 167 against him in his opening match last night. Can't get a 161 for himself.
137. William
So
Carl,
Borland
43.
looking to turn this tie totally on its head, having lost the opening leg.
27.
Went
Robbie
the
Carl,
same way as the
24.
previous leg, and like we said, bread and butter, it didn't go, but more pressure from Grundy on this occasion as he comes in at double 12.
Game shot on the third leg.
And he
Rob
does the
Grundy.
bread and butter shot with fair dart, carrying one to the board. Nothing for Willie Borland to
Fourth leg,
worry
Willie
about at
goes
this
first.
particular
Game
moment in
on.
time. It's all gone with throw, and now he holds throw.
97.
He'll be back to 2-2. Easier said than done, Murph.
Yeah, absolutely. But he does know he does need to win this game. I think this is one of the most important games of the night on paper, just because of
100.
we talk about 6-pointers in football. We have 4-pointers here at the Super Series.
140.
And this is one of them. Willie Borland wins it. He's 6 points to his name, 4 clear of both Rob Grundy and Danny Smith, and only 6 to play for. That's a big, big
60.
gap to bridge.
It does change. I haven't played in Group B and C. I played in Group B
58.
back in April or May time, and yeah, the group passes you by very quickly. It can pass you by because it's only 4 games.
See
100.
the action and the outcome there from Rob Grundy. Willie Borland more carefree in his throwing style.
100.
Rob Grundy very deliberate.
You like that overhead shot because it does actually show you the angle of entry of the dart on the board as well.
140. William Carl, 106.
Ah,
Game shot
so
on the
nice.
fourth leg.
So
Willie
good
Borland.
from Willie Borland. Tie up this match.
Fifth leg, Rob to throw first. Game on.
Competitive stuff at the start of the night. Grundy still has the advantage of the throw. But that should be a dart he could work off.
100.
Just the one treble in his opening salvo. Willie Borland
137.
throws them so quick. Watching him there, it felt like he'd thrown the second dart before the first one had landed.
Imagine him and Ricky Evans in a
93.
game.
Rick Evans hit a 9-darter recently. They reckon it's the fastest 9-darter ever.
43.
I think they timed it from the point of release each time, didn't they, or something? And yeah, the 3 sort of throws on point of release was something like 9 seconds or
Yeah.
something, if I remember rightly.
38.
Three, two, one. But after
180. 180.
6 starts. So unfortunately, the 180 to leave the 141 is after 9, not 4-9.
$140. We'll look at 141.
That was a good leave by Grundy. Good response. The
45.
140 gives him a
Robbie
real
Carr, 130.
bonus shot here to get back into the leg on his own throw. Just needs one treble to earn himself a dart. Oh, that is awful for him. Does have some room, but can't find the space available.
Even though he had the room, the angle of the flight there, where the flight
65.
wasn't
Willie
straight
Carr,
up, he just caught the edge of it and it flicked the dart up rather than down.
Game shot on the 5th leg. Willie
It
Borland.
didn't matter in the end. Clean and tidy 96 from Willie Borland.
6
Yeah,
leg
he
Willie to
wanted
throw
that.
first. Game on.
Yeah, really enjoyed that, didn't he? He feels that he's just putting too much pressure on
46.
Grundy and Smith if he wins this, giving them too much to do. This game could be the match that decides whether or not things are sorted very early this evening, or whether it will go on into the early hours of
58.
tomorrow.
Yeah, well, put a gap in the table between the top 3 and the bottom 2.
55.
Danny Smith, the other player in the bottom 2, along with Rob Grundy in action again next. He takes on the player at the top of the table, Jared Cole, who would qualify
100.
if he were to win that match.
$140.
Pepper in the treble 20 again on this visit. As Borland not seen much as a response so far.
97.
Rob Grundy, a good pick up there. Treble 19, but he's needing double treble visits now.
100.
That's what he needs to get there first, and he hasn't because Willie Borland is there on 160, but we're looking to set this up, and a 180 here
140. Willie Carr, 160.
made life very interesting.
92.
But Rob
Robbie
Grundy
Carr,
simply
106.
has to hit, has to break, has to win. You would think. First part done. Second part done. And the
Game
third
shot on the
part
6th leg. Rob Grundy.
just in the corner. And Rob Grundy's 106 checkout gets him to a last leg decider.
7th and final leg. Rob to throw first. Game on.
Willie just trying to keep his focus. A little respectful fist bump from the pair of them before this decisive leg of darts gets underway. This is huge for the rest of the night. If Willie wins, it's looking like a done deal. But if
49.
Rob Grundy wins, the race is wide open.
I'm sure there'll be interest in the players' room here
60.
on this last leg, and Rob Grundy hitting that 106. Not only did it give him a chance to be in a last leg decider, but it also gave him the throw in that last leg decider. So it was a big break of throw for him.
140.
Although he didn't visit well first time out, the 140 second time out
44.
has now put Borland under some sort of pressure. It'd be fair to say that Rob Grundy really has just hung in there in moments where Willie
100.
Borland was the better player. And he's still there at the end.
And he did show similar tungsten tenacity last week, Rob Grundy. We saw him here at
139.
Champions Week. We saw him get to Champions Night, of course, and he did it by doing exactly what you just described, Scott. He knew how to hang in there. He
58.
did play on Champions Week in Group B.
40. Rob Carr,
And he managed to
154.
get through on 8 points. So you'd be looking to do something similar this time around. He's got 6 starts from here to set himself on his way.
And well, Grundy there had a non-treble visit. Managed to leave himself on 154.
94.
And Willie Borland knew that was a big chance, and he fluffed his lines. Scoring just 40.
94. Rob Carr, 60.
Come back with 94 now, but say it's in Grundy's hands here.
Yeah, and it's the ideal finish for him, isn't it? 60. He's not going to block tops. Not going to hit it either, though. Double 10.
40.
Not found, so Borland gets an opportunity.
40. Rob your car 20.
Three in hand in for Rob Grundy in a 4-3 lead. To blow this group wide open. A fist pump after he knows what that means in the context of the group. It keeps him well and truly in it. 4-3 to Grundy in a very important game. Borland there with a 90 average, but sometimes you can have that slightly lower average if you've got the darts. And Grundy takes advantage. Checkouts were pretty tidy, 50% on both. But we'll be heading to a short break and we'll be joining you. And when we come back with the first look at the group leader this evening, Jared Cole, when he takes on Danny Smith.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series. Last night, that man there, Jared Cole, won each and every single one of his 4 fixtures. And Danny Smith's already done him a favour tonight, because that victory in his first game means that any victory will seal his progression through to tomorrow night's final. And because of results elsewhere this evening, Rod Grundy getting the better of Willie Borland, a win here for Desperate Dan would mean that he would be in a position to really knock on the door of the top 3, be level on points with Borland and Grundy in 3rd and 4th respectively. Watching this one downstairs in the commentary box, Scott Mitchell, Chris Murphy.
Thanks, H. Yeah, well described. It's one of those situations that, to be fair, if Danny could actually get over the line here, he could throw himself back in the equation. It would be a long shot.
First leg is Danny
to
to
go,
first.
and the results would have to go his way a little bit.
On.
I think we're going to see Danny the spoiler this evening. We've already seen it once. Jared has not had a game as of yet, and sometimes players like to have had a game and would prefer. It's like a prelim in a comp, in a knockout comp. Some players would like
45.
to play before, and some players say, "Oh no, I'd rather come in cold against a player that's already played." So, personal preference, but for me, I'd rather play.
60.
Yeah, and Danny Smith gave Jared Cole the biggest scare yesterday, didn't he? It was a 4-1 win, 2 4-2s, but it was 4-3 against
100.
Smith, the victory for Cole. And only after Danny Smith, remember he dragged that dart into double 15, didn't he, when he was going for double 10?
140.
Missed the opportunity to beat Cole.
Yeah, he did indeed.
140.
Cole was firing a few maximums last night. If he wins this match, he will be through. However, if Smith wins it, we'll have Cole on 8, Ward on 6, and then Borland, Grundy and Danny all on 4 points apiece.
$60.
Yeah, and it would be the scenario that one gate going one way. The last one could have finished the proceedings off, and this one goes the other way. Double 18 for
86.
Danny, not quite to be.
156.
Jared back on 156. First one's there. Second one, not quite to be.
100. Danny car 18. No score.
Danny's done it again,
56.
same as he did last night. He's hit the double next door. He looks to the sky, annoyed with himself, and 56 for Jared Cole.
16.
You'd be
Danny
annoyed,
Rocar,
wouldn't you, if you were
18.
Danny Smith next door neighbour? He keeps popping round uninvited. This time he goes a different route.
Game shot
But
in
it
the
works.
first leg. Danny Smith.
Splitting and then hitting.
Second leg, Jared to throw first. Game on.
Last night with these mistakes, he wasn't returning, was he? And those 56 shots last night from Jared Cole, they were just
58.
getting mopped up.
Yeah, and you called it. You said he ran into one last night, and maybe he gets his rub of the green this evening. What's happened there? That dart looks like it's broken in two.
40.
Well, I think it's gone sort of Robin Hood.
Thinking maybe a little bit of the stem came off, a tiny little bit of the stem.
Yeah, it has. It's shattered the top end of the stem.
140.
There might be a slight delay while we have running repairs here. A desperate down. That's the part of the stem. Those that play will know. Obviously, as you look at the top of the stem or cane, it's obviously got a little cross shape, and one of those has been hooked off. And then all of a sudden, yeah, you can get the flight back in, but you will constantly be having it fall out and picking it up.
57.
So best to change it.
Yeah, a little pit stop for Danny Smith there. Jared Cole trying to fill this up.
133.
Nicely done by Jared Cole. He's first to the finish.
60.
Doesn't
Jared
need to
Car,
go for it at
170.
all.
$125.
I mean, he should have gone for the second treble 20, Scott.
Oh yeah, that was the bit that he didn't read the script.
He looks likely to level up this game.
43. Challenger
Smith
car 45.
Has already beaten Harry Ward tonight. Currently second in the table. He's looking to beat the man at the top. But that's
Game
just
shot on
become
the
a little
second
more
leg.
difficult as
Cole.
Cole levels up proceedings after 2.
Third leg Danny did through first. Game on. $119.
Yeah, nice recovery there from Danny Smith after a lateral drift into the 5. Double treble visit all the same.
58.
Shows where his head is, I think, for me. You get disappointed with that first dart.
58.
Tend not to go and hit the next 2.
$46. $100. $77.
How crucial is that going to be? I think it was only a single 19. It was a dart on dart out rather than hitting
96.
a wire. Blade boards are designed to be just a narrow edge to try and avoid all these bounce outs.
140. Daniel Carr 128.
Yeah, still in command of this leg, Smith. You can see that by the fact he didn't need to go the 18s route on 128.
52.
Still disappointed with the end result because he knows that Cole here, although he hasn't. Double treble visit on the treble 20,
90.
which didn't happen.
Daniel
He's
Carr
had a
76.
triple treble visit.
Yeah,
Of
cut
the
his
wrong
score in
ones.
half.
Game shot on
Danny
the third
Smith's done
leg.
that twice
Danny Smith.
tonight. That check out. Just looks a bit more likely, doesn't he? You mentioned that he was missing opportunities and then being
challenges to
punished for it,
reverse.
whereas
Game on.
tonight he's taking opportunities and the ones he has missed, he hasn't been punished.
Yeah, very much so. And
55.
that he just wanted to do a bit of damage tonight. Throw with freedom.
43. $134.
When you have the throw, he doesn't need to break Jared Cole. He's
43.
careful. But he doesn't give Cole too much impetus to break him. The next leg. So he needs to stay in this leg.
100.
And keep Cole honest.
$129.
Good covering there from Smith again. And
$58.
Just been like dominant holds the throw so far.
60.
Player
Daniel
that's
Carr
throwing first has sort of run
154.
away in each leg. There have been chances at times, but they've been down there on a finish long before their opponent. Jared Cole's going to be on a very
130.
handy finish long before his opponent, on a double in fact.
56. Daniel Carr 24.
So double 12, 2-2. Just going to have to,
No score.
yeah, you had
Daniel
to go the
Carr
other side, didn't he?
170.
To come towards us as you look at the screen.
$93. Daniel Carr 24.
so, all amount of pressure asserted on Danny Smith, but it's all about Jared Cole now in this 24.
Getting shot on the fourth leg, Jared Cole.
One of those one out, one in shots. Make sure to do nothing silly with the first.
Fifth leg, Danny to throw first. Game
Danny
on.
Smith looking to respond. Carry on this hold.
140. $60.
Danny Smith again with the throw. As you said, Murph, both seem to be
140.
more comfortable on their throw, and that's back-to-back 140s from Smith.
$58. $57.
Again, it's that same scenario that we were talking about. One player on throw, racing down the lane.
81.
Want to finish a long time before their opponent, who's still in the 300s on this occasion after 9.
$60.
A good 6 there from Danny.
78.
Another
Daniel
bounce out at the wrong
104.
time for Cole, meaning he doesn't leave a finish. So it's 6 darts from here for Smith.
I want to treble 16. Just working out what he needs. 63 remaining.
58.
That'll do. That's one of the optimum finishes to leave 46 if it's a 2-darter, because you can aim for a big surface area.
95. Daniel Carr, 46.
And that's what he's done. 6 or
Game
10,
shot on the
didn't matter
fifth
which
leg,
one.
Danny Smith.
And double 18 is in. Danny Smith is in the lead. And on the brink of quite
Six leg Jared to
remarkably
throw first. Game on.
turning his campaign around totally. He started the night on no points. After 3 games, he could be on 4 and joint 3rd
80.
place. That's a qualification spot.
And is he throwing with freedom because he feels he has nothing to lose?
134.
He returns back into that player's room, sees where he is in the table. Is that going to affect the rest of his throw for the rest of the
58.
evening? Big question, that.
Well, the other thing is, the 2 players that he would have beaten would have been the top 2. So his games that are remaining are against those other players on 4. It's going to be proper
25.
shootout stuff, isn't it? Between the 3 of him, Grundy and Borland.
But if he does go on and win this game and beats the top 2, is there an element of, well, I should be beating these guys? And when you start thinking like that as a
140.
dart player, that's when you're in trouble. It really is a gnarly old group, this one.
It was interesting actually hearing Harry
140.
Ward. He mentioned his defeat to Jared Cole last night, and he said, I should have beaten, and then he corrected himself. Could. Never should. Could. You don't hit the double.
99.
You don't win. You can't blame anybody else.
$92.
Shoulda,
Daniel
woulda,
Carr,
coulda.
124.
Words that dart players most misuse, I think.
Well, that miss there has opened the door
72. Daniel Carr,
for
110.
Danny Smith, 110 points away from a 2nd win of the night, a 2nd win of the group. Can't hunt down a treble, so Cole comes
58.
back,
Daniel Carr, 52.
trying to force a 7th leg.
Game shot on the 6th leg.
Good
Jared
recovery
Cole.
there from Jared Cole, because that first dart at double 16 was a long way away. But
7th
the
and
plus
final
with
leg.
that
Danny to
was
throw first. Game
it left the
on.
double 8 absolutely clear as a bell and wide open, which he did duly hit.
100.
Well, it was 4-3 to Jared Cole when the pair
100.
met on Thursday night. Smith missed darts to win. He had that bust in double 15, something that Happened in a similar
60.
fashion earlier in this match, but he got away with it on this occasion, and that's kind of been the story of his night so far. When he's passed up opportunities, they haven't been punished. He's taken more chances
57.
himself. This leg will tell us a lot.
And there's another example there. It was a non-treble visit that last night he was getting absolutely punished for.
60.
And Jared Cole came back and did exactly the same. But he's done it again. And will Cole come back and let him off the hook? The answer is no
100.
at the minute.
Just the one treble, though, so Smith is not completely damaged by that. But if he doesn't find a treble himself,
44.
it feels like he's fighting a losing battle at the moment. Cole has effectively taken the darts now in this deciding leg.
58.
A bit of a treble drought at the moment.
Just waiting for somebody to grab this leg by the scruff of the neck and saying, I'm having you.
59.
Yet to happen.
One big visit. One treble's fine now at this stage. Like gold dust. Difficult to get in there. Difficult to get in there.
56.
Had to move all around the board. So still Danny Smith with the opportunity, you would think. Maybe looks at the 18s.
58.
And
Gonna do car
120.
130.
Plays 130. Treble 20. And another or a single. And the ball. Well, I
80.
think it came out of the
Daniel Carr,
25.
120.
Can't be sure, but it looked like the 25. And Danny Smith on the Shanghai shot for the win.
Game shot in the match, Danny Smith.
What a shot, Danny Smith. Did his best on the scoring to give that one away. Jared Cole very unlucky with that bounce out. Was it in the ball or was it not? We will never know. The only thing we know is it went to the floor. This game was such a tense, nervous game. I don't think the averages is something that we should be looking at. Danny Smith there, 4 from 7. That's the checkout stat that he'll be looking for. We'll go to a short break and we'll be back with Willie Borland versus Harry Ward for the 5th time this week.
Welcome back to the Super Series. Forget Desperate Dan. He may well be the man, Danny Smith, this evening. He's just toppled the league leader, Jared Cole, by 4 legs to 3. Last leg decider. Could well be 2 local boys here tomorrow night now. It's very much conceivability. Next up for us, Willie Borland in action up against Harry Ward. Ward was Danny Smith's first victim of the night, whilst Willie Borland lost out to Rob Grundy. It's getting very tight now in the table. And down in the commentary box, Scott Mitchell and Chris Murphy will have their finger on the pulses.
Yeah, thanks, Little H, as we go over to Big H on the stage. The two have played each other 4 times previously this week, and they are 2 apiece.
First leg, Willie to throw first.
One is going to go home with 3 wins, and one is going to go 2. But which way will it be?
96.
Yeah, as Henry said, it's got tight. It might be about to get even tighter, because if Borland can serve this out,
134.
and he will join Harry Ward on 6 points, and there'll be just 2 points separating 4 players. Jared Cole still
99.
sitting pretty at the top despite that defeat, and he's only 1 win away from qualifying. But we have mentioned it. He has done it before, where he's won 4 matches on Thursday and lost 4 on Friday. Still got through. But that is
85.
dicing with darting death, isn't it?
It is, and unfortunately for guys in 4th and 5th, their leg difference could come into play come the end of the evening.
Well, the big fish is on offer.
170. $138. Out of your car, 147.
Double 16. He actually did some quick-fire questions for us earlier in the week, Willie Borland, and he was asked 170. Do you go for it when your opponent's not on a finish, or do you lay up? And he said always lay up.
135.
But he
Willie car 32.
went for it, but kind of laid up as well.
Game shown
Ended up on double
leg.
16,
Willie
ends up
Borland.
going out in 13. Really good start to this game.
Yeah, one of those happy misses, I think one of our commentating
Second leg,
colleagues
to throw
calls
first.
it.
Game on.
I don't want to steal his thunder, but yeah, a happy miss indeed. It's in that 18. Going for the bullseye.
140.
Yeah, Ward was right with him in that leg.
93. $41.
Fabulous
177.
from Willie Borland. Plays at pace, but plays with precision.
$57.
No reply there. Not a treble from Ward. So darts
$64.
well and truly turned. Bit of clever thinking there from Willie Borland. 25 to leave 167.
99. Willie car 167.
We're looking at the big 1-6 shots, and Willie gets
59.
first.
How do you car
dabs at it.
164?
Doesn't hit. I think he's treble 19 man here.
96. Willie car 108.
Well, many ways to go for Willie. Opts for double 16 at the end of this, but can't quite
68.
complete the combo. Incredible thing about Willie's play is that he throws a 180 at the same speed as he throws a 108. He'd go all over the board in no time at all.
52. Willie car 16.
Yeah, his adjustment time is still very quick as well and very speedy.
Game shown in the second leg. Willie Borland. Third leg, Willie to throw first. Game on. $96.
according to some research that was done, I'm not sure exactly
121.
when, but certainly in recent years, Willie Borland was classed as the 3rd fastest player in the world at one time.
95.
Ricky Evans was top of that list. Michael Smith was 2nd. The world number 1.
Yeah, that surprises me that Smith is
97.
classed. I suppose we have seen him absolutely in full flight and full flow at times, but I think Michael Smith's sort of pace sometimes changes. Bro.
$43. Willie Carr 130.
Looking for the treble. Yeah, we mentioned that
94.
9-darter earlier from the fastest player in the world by most people's standard, Ricky Evans. Now, he played Callan Ridge in that match. Callan Ridge is also a very quick player. The whole leg, a full leg of darts, only lasted 40 seconds.
36.
Double 18, double 9. Well, has the maximum
32.
from
Willie
Ward
Carr 60.
made Willie miss?
Game shot on the 3rd leg. Harry
Holland's
Ward.
nodding in the background. That's a break of throw.
4th leg Addy to throw first. Game on.
14 dart leg against the darts for Harry Ward. That 180 was proved to be timely.
45.
And what he'd have done for another one again as the off there. Big deflection.
58.
Go into the 5, so not too much damage done though to the Ward throw. Borland had a troublous visit.
Well, to
41.
continue the conversation and get involved yourselves on our social media at MSS Darts, who do you think's the speediest slinger in the sport?
140.
And who's the slowest as well? Scott, any ideas?
No, you've got me there. No, you've got me there. No, I can't think of any slow players at all, actually.
140.
Now, there was a bloke, wasn't there? The footage is out there on YouTube called Terry Downs from the World
59.
Championship a very long time ago in the 1980s, and he would. Let's just put it this way: the tournament finished in the 1990s.
Is that the guy from Devon that drove Jockey Wilson up the wall?
That's exactly it. Yeah. Yeah, Down won the match 2-0, and at the end, Jockey Wilson gave him a brief handshake and stormed off the stage. Now, there's been a few. Justin Pipe was considered as
125.
pretty slow, but I think Liam Mandel Lawrence, the new kid on the block, who's going for that title, he does take his time.
100. Harry Carr 52.
However these two players do.
Yeah, Pipey had played in our area for a fair old while before you guys saw him on the PDC. And he would be seen at local tournaments playing at exactly the same pace. He did nothing different
20.
from when he was
86.
local, picking up a few little pots when he was making his way in the game.
72. Harry Carr 32.
Harry Ward looking to make his way back into this game by landing double 16.
Game shot on the 4th leg. Harry
And he
Ward.
does. But the thing is, Scott, in all seriousness, it's not about pace, is it? It's about rhythm. It's about you doing everything
Fifth leg
at a
Willie to
pace
throw
that you're
first. Game
comfortable
on.
with, and basically the
60.
rhythm when you're throwing suiting you.
Yeah, it is about pace, and it's about having a rhythm that you're happy
46.
with. There's always rhythm with any throw, but some people's is rapid, and Ricky Evans, his rhythm is in within 3 seconds, whereas other players are sort of slow and steady and kind of tortoise-like. I think it's the friendliest way to say it.
57. $45.
Didn't quite have a tortoise, but a turtle here recently at the Super Series, David Schlichtling, although not slow. Saw him come out of his shell as the week went on.
42.
You mentioned Justin Pipe there earlier. I know it was his birthday yesterday. I was just double checking to make sure that I didn't get that wrong.
180.
Willie Borland, he had his birthday on Wednesday.
$100. Willie Car 76. Game shot on the fifth leg. Willie Borland.
Very tidy 76 there from Borland to take a 3-2 lead. Again, only with the darts.
Six leg Harry to through first. Game on. $140. $41.
Double treble visit is always nicer music to your ears when you're throwing first. Referee calls it out, but you've got to back it up. Harry Ward has duly done that with a 1-3-4.
Well, we're doing birthday, Scott, today.
140.
Former world champion John Boy Walton celebrating.
Yeah, I did see that on my Facebook earlier too, yes.
Harry Ward looking to hunt down a treble 19 to go with the two treble 20s. Doesn't do it, but does leave himself on a nice two-darter.
140. Adioka 88.
Double four here for Harry Ward.
Game shot on the
Bound, so we
sixth
do go
leg.
the
Harry
distance
Ward.
again. And again, it's one of those legs that could have a big impact on the direction of this group.
Seventh and final
If
leg.
Ward
Willie
wins
to
it, he's on 8
first.
points
Game
with
on.
Jared Cole and looking like he's heading through. But if Borland wins it, it's 6 between the pair of them. There's 3 go in the bed for Willie. And if that does happen, then he will separate the group, 4 players, by 2
86.
points.
Yeah, as we said at the start of the match,
140.
on their first 4 games this week, and going to take a last leg decider to split them for the week.
30.
Does everything in a rush, Willie Borland. It's not just the throwing of the darts, it's the way he retrieves them at pace as well.
145.
And you see, he's taking them out the board almost as soon as they've landed. And look at the leg he's produced here. 9 darts, 36 left. This is a last leg decider. That 180 will count for nothing if Willie Borland goes out here.
Game
And he
shot
does.
on the match.
And
Willie Borland.
Borland gets the win that makes this group even more exciting, even more dramatic. Harry Ward exits the stage having lost his first 2 matches of the night. It's a big win for Big Willie. 101.3 the average, 4 out of 12 on the doubles, but the all-important stat is Willie Borland 4, Harry Ward 3, and now he's on 6 points with Harry. Danny Smith and Rob Grundy both on 4 points. There is a real race. Grundy looking to topple Jared Cole next. If he wins, he'll be through.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series. So before the break, Willie Borland got the better of Harry Ward by 4 legs to 3. And that means so far this evening, we have seen every single leg bar one played. And we now reach our halfway house here on our Friday night of tungsten tension here in Portsmouth. It sees Rob Grundy in action up against Jared Cole. A victory for the King of the Castle. We'll see him into tomorrow night's final. As for Rob Grundy, victory is of the utmost importance for anyone in that bottom part of the table. Things could really congeal after the end of this one. Chris, Scott, it's all yours.
Thank you very much. Rob Grundy looking to, get
First leg
things
challenge
all
you threw
more
first.
bunched up. They'll be like bananas in
Game
this
on.
group if he wins this game. Jared Cole on 8 points, Harry Ward on 6, Willie Borland on 6. A win for Grundy here would put him on 6 and Danny Smith on 4, but plays
60.
Borland in the next game. We could have, after the next 2 games, every single player in the group separated by 2 points. And Jared Cole came into tonight on 8, knowing after the first result of the evening that him winning his first game would put him through. Failed to do that. He remains a win away. How many games would he have to lose to start thinking that this might not be going to plan? Is he thinking that already, having had that experience before?
Well, I'm suggesting he thinks it already because it looks like he's got a change of flights already in this match.
180.
And he's gone to a plain blue flight from his King of the Castle flights that he had in earlier.
180.
Whether it's just that he had chunked maybe out of the other flights and put in the spares,
93.
or whether it's a
Challenger
conscious
car
thought,
161.
But Grundy got the better of Borland in his opening
137,
game when
88.
Cole went down to Smith. Now Rob looking to defeat Jared. Delay his progress to finals night. I say delay, that's at best. It could be worse than that.
Getting shot on the first leg.
And Grundy
Rob
has
Grundy.
grabbed the bull by the horns there. Jared Cole cutting a forlorn figure. He looks like a
Second
man
leg
who
Rob
thinks
to
it
through
might
first.
be about to go wrong for him.
Game on.
Watch his space.
$100.
Now, what you don't want, Jared Cole's situation here is a Rob Grundy being like a rat off a
96.
drain pipe on you. That's exactly what's happened in the first leg.
He didn't look like a player confident of getting through, and that's,
140.
I'm worrying about his worrying now. He's made me worried. Only has to
59.
win one match. He only has to get 2 points at any match for Jared Cole gets him through.
And Jared is a thinker. He's one of those that will know that situation. And
85.
maybe, and the longer that happens, it takes him to get that game, the more tense it will be, the tighter his arm will be, and the
134.
more he will start to panic.
Well, he wanted to do what Charlie Large did this afternoon and just do the damage early, get it done. Large, of course, from Portsmouth, will be in front of the home crowd tomorrow. In
100.
fact, I mean, there is a scenario where we could have Danny Smith as well. So that's 2 from the town that the venue is in. And Jared Cole's not from far away over, is he? If he
60.
gets through.
Rob your car
Just up
76.
the road at Chandler's Ford.
Could be a bit of a tribal crowd in.
Game shot on the second leg.
Rob
Rob
Grundy is not giving anything away in this one. Well, there might not be many coming down from Hartlepool, but Rob Grundy could
Third
be
leg challenge you
making
through first. Game on.
back-to-back finals nights, having been there at Champions Night last Saturday. And of course, that will give
97.
him the chance to make it back-to-back Champions Weeks.
Indeed it will. He's coming out in this one with a very different attitude, but
125.
it's like anything. When you're top of the group, people do play you slightly differently. They are going to put that little bit of extra effort in.
180.
Cole claiming third max of this match. 2-1 in his favour, but he hasn't had a dart at double yet. 2 out of 2. Grundy, he's been so good in that department. Cole's been left waiting for a go.
Yeah, and that was Jared Cole's 10th 180 in this group over the
42.
2 evenings. He won ahead of him, and that is Harry Ward. A 180 stat.
80.
Well, he should get a go at a double in this like Jared Cole. He's got plenty in hand here.
134.
Yeah, this is a good leg from Jared Cole to bounce back. The double treble visit there to just try and help the
140.
Grundy charge, but
48.
Grundy's not listening.
Game shot
Nice,
on the third
nice
leg.
from
Jared
Cole.
Cole.
He does what Grundy does. No dart missed at double in 3 legs in this game. Really clinical.
Fourth
Checking
leg
out.
up to through first. Game on.
Check that out.
Wouldn't too many that wouldn't be pleased with that.
45.
Yeah, it's a game being
100.
played at an exceptional standard. The average is pretty handy too, Scott.
Yeah, absolutely. He would, we'd all be happy to be at that point in a match, anytime, anywhere.
140.
See Rob Grundy jump up to 106.
60.
Just a reminder of the remaining fixtures. This is the halfway stage of the night, and we expected that quite a lot would be solved,
58.
but nothing could be solved by the end of it. If Grundy wins this game, we'll be none the wiser. Danny Smith playing Willie Borland next, then Harry Ward faces Jared Cole. Before
85.
Grundy meets Smith, Borland plays Cole, and then Ward meets Grundy in the last match of the night. I think we could see every game having something on it.
Is this not how we saw it at the start of last
60.
night? I think we kind of called it right. Obviously, there was an opportunity early doors with Grundy
96.
Borland game that would have opened the door and a big gap between third and fourth. Since then, it's all been quality under pressure.
58. Jared Cole 160. $140. Rob Cole 140.
Right on cue, a piece of quality from Jared Cole against the throw. Grundy did the 140 last night with treble 20, double 10. Also saw Harry Ward do the 140 last night with treble 18, treble 18.
Jared Cole 20.
route.
Two fives, two bads.
No score.
And good
Rob
for
Cole
Grundy,
40.
who just prepares himself now to deal a march in this match and open up a 2-leg cushion. Double top.
Game shot on the
Perfect.
fourth leg. Rob Grundy.
Rob Grundy doing exactly what he needs to do, and it's the players at the foot of the field that are turning it on tonight. Jared Cole
Fifth leg Jared to throw first.
looks
Game on.
like a man sinking in the quicksand.
Yeah, that one hurt, didn't it? That one really
60.
hurt. Hurt me in the commentary box, and I'm not playing.
$26.
And there's always next week, Scott.
As always, next week. And next week, a
58.
good week. We got myself and Tommy here as Dorset players, and Sam Curtin on the Saturday in the ladies' ADC.
Yeah, of course. If you haven't heard, you'll have seen.
100.
You may have seen on the ADC social media that we are going to be streaming live the women's vault finals, including as Scott said, the
57.
likes of Sam Curtin, but also Lisa Ashton and Dieter Hedman here, along with the girls champion from last year, Eleanor Cairns. It'll be a decent afternoon
43.
of darts. Starts at 12:30. Saturday the 18th of November. You can watch all of the action live on the Modus Super Series YouTube channel.
99. $140. 100.
Tidy ton from Jared Cole there. Double treble visit here from Grundy.
100.
Was looking very
Jared
likely,
Cole,
wasn't it?
127.
Still a certain amount of pressure on this 127. Double 19. Not to be 127 and game this time round.
92.
Yeah, Henry Deacon revealed, didn't he, about Paul Hinks being given that room in his hotel, room 127. Well, he's done this already tonight, Rob Grundy. That's probably the room he's staying in because he keeps hitting this. If he hits it again, we'll name the 92 the Grundy.
Game shot on
He's
the
got
match,
his own
Rob Grundy.
finish, and he's got the 2 points. A 4-1 win. Absolutely superb stuff from Rob Grundy, and this group just keeps getting closer and closer and closer. And Jared Cole can't close it out. He's been 1 win away. He's still 1 win away. And that victory for Grundy, in which he performed very well. In fact, he was perfect on the outer ring, 4 out of 4, including that 92 checkout to win it. And Grundy's got going, and there are only now 2 points separating 4 players behind Jared Cole in this table. Coming next, Danny Smith faces Willie Borland.
Welcome back to the Super Series, where it's half-time here at the live lounge in Portsmouth. No oranges, myself and Scott Mitchell up here on the balcony, but plenty to talk about through this evening's action. These are the results so far, and if you're Jared Cole, this makes for very worrying reading.
Yes, it does. He's obviously wanted to get the job done a little bit like Charlie did this afternoon. He would have liked to have gone in, got that one win and had everything secure, and then it would have been happy days and he'd been sat back in his deck chair and enjoying the fun. But as it happens, he's now got a little bit of pressure on himself. And I think I just said to him downstairs on the way by, he said, I just can't stop trying too hard. So, but then players are stepping up against him because he is top of the group. So they know that it can all be closed up tighter, and then that gives everybody a chance.
Meanwhile, elsewhere, reversal of fortunes as far as Danny Smith was concerned. And we kind of had the feeling, didn't we, that if he played to the level that he did last night, he's going to harbour opportunities, and he's won 2 from 2 this evening so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the downside for Danny is he's coming in with leg difference issues to be able to challenge for a spot. But he did say this evening when he arrived, I'm here to have some fun, enjoy myself, and maybe be the spoiler. And that's exactly what he's done to help close this group right up.
Well, he upset Jared Cole here with that 120. The shake as if for, well, what if? But that was the story of Danny Smith's night so far. The big game at the beginning of the night was Willie Borland against Harry Ward. Borland winning that game against Big H. And Harry, again, is one of those players we haven't really spoken too much about, but there could be a bit of jeopardy involving him now.
There they were. I was just doing a quick bit of number crunching before I came up, and Harry's sort of averages have dropped off from last night by about 9 points, but Willie's have gone up by 9 points. So there's definite role reversal there. Harry's going to have to find some more of those averages that he had last night to probably get him over the line.
And as for Rob Grundy, how big could that win be against Jared Cole?
It could be absolutely massive because he's put himself right back in it. We saw him give him a bit of a clenched fist there after that game, and Rob Grundy doesn't generally give a lot away. So that showed how much that game meant to him.
Yeah, he faced Willie Borland earlier on in the evening, and we can have a look at some of the highlights there. This is the game against the Scot, and it was important that he got off to a good start, wasn't it? And that was exactly what happened.
Yeah, absolutely. And the two sort of shining moments, he's had 2 92 shot outs that were at crucial points in both games and came through them. And that then starts to breed your confidence on the evening. You start believing it's your night to come through a sticky spot.
Well, this is what it does then. In terms of the table, Cole still top of the pile, 8 points to his name, but it's got almightily tight behind him. Ward, Ball and Grundy all on 6. And Danny Smith, well, he can make it 4 players on 6 if he gets the better of Willie Borland here.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, every game now as it comes, we had a turning point, game 2 or 3, and now every game is so important. We could come up here and do something after every game because it's going to be interesting from now to the end of tonight.
Definitely will. So we're going to send you downstairs to try and do all the calculations and all the abacuses and all the rest of it to describe all the action for the rest of the evening. And joining Scotty Dog down in the booth for Smith against Borland is Chris Murphy.
Yeah, thank you very much, Henry. In fact, I've just been doing some calculations and I have managed to work out that there is still a scenario in this group where every single player could end up on 8 points. We could have them all split by leg difference, for example. Danny Smith and Willie Borland about to go toe-to-toe.
Looks like Danny to throw first. Game on.
In the 6th match of the evening. But let me tell you something else. I've also worked out a scenario where they could all end up on 8 points and they could all have the same leg difference.
60.
That is how close this group could get. And we'd see players missing out on legs won and various other
59.
ways of separating them if you aren't well versed in the way that things happen here at the MODUS Super
60.
Series. And of course it starts on points. It's followed by leg difference, then legs won, then head-to-head wins, which of course could be level in this group because they play each other twice.
100.
Then, if they still can't be separated, legs won in head-to-head matches. And finally,
96.
if there's still no splitting a couple of players, then it would be overall average for the players within this group. So, calculators are
57.
ready. But Jared Cole's still in that position. He's playing his
100.
next game where he needs a win to go through. That's for sure. Willie Borland to Danny Smith. Now, for that to happen, Smith would have to win his remaining matches, of
121.
course. He's won his first 2. So if he wins this one, it would move closer. He'd be on 6 points along with Borland, Grundy and Ward.
93. Daniel Carr 106.
And he's looking at 106 in the opening leg. Treble 18 can't be found, so Borland on 92.
86.
A break throw
Willie
straight
Carr,
away.
92. $76. Daniel Carr 20.
92, we've already seen Rob Grundy do that twice. Once again, and he's pulled that one,
Game shot on the first leg.
but
Danny
he's
Smith.
recovered once again. And as we say again, Willie Borland missed the double to give Danny the
Second leg,
chance.
Willie
He's
to throw
living
first. Game on.
a charmed life so far this evening.
As you were making your way downstairs,
100.
Scott, I was just explaining to the viewers that there is a scenario still possible where all the players in this group could end up on 8 points, every single one of them. Not only that, they could all end up on the
137.
same leg difference if results went a certain way. So I hope you brought your calculator.
100.
No, but I can always start undoing my shoes so that we can take the shoes and socks off.
Yeah, please no.
Right answer. Farmer's feet. Can't
96.
beat them. Wellies all day. Beautiful.
$45.
Well, Danny Smith's certainly been harvesting the points tonight. And you called it quite early, Scott. You said that it seemed to be just going the other way. Everything that was going against him last
84.
night is going for him tonight. When he makes mistakes, they're unpunished. When he makes mistakes in the middle of a visit, he's recovering, which he wasn't doing
140.
24 hours ago.
I think every dart player has experienced this, whether it's local league or whether it's at the Pro Tours.
96.
You know,
Willie
it's
Carr,
a type of thing that happens
116.
all the time. Sometimes you're getting away with it and sometimes you're not. And you don't get to choose which way round it is.
Game shot on the second leg.
Willie Borland
Borland.
manages to level up with a fine finish. Just seem out of the players the most
Third leg, Danny to
animated
throw
in this
first.
group.
Game on.
Last night,
65.
Willie Borland's highest shot was 106, which he equalled in game 2 against Rob Grundy, and now takes it 10 points
48.
on with that 1-1-6.
$96.
Yeah, good last start from Smith, slotting one in under that marker into the treble 19. He's playing his penultimate match of the night, having won his first 2.
85.
Messers, Borland and Grundy to play. Just looking at it from what I've just said, you know, that Danny Smith's put himself in the picture tonight. But the fact that we do have 3 players on 6 points, some of them are going to play each other. You would think to have any chance of going through, he's still going to have to get
56.
to
Daniel
8. He's
Carr,
still going to have to win
160.
all of his games.
Yeah, and he's going to have to win a couple of them quite well to get the leg difference to go in his favour as well.
80.
Ironically, last night Danny Smith's highest average of the evening was against Willie Borland.
He's a bit unlucky there. He will, again, not be
41.
punished, but
Daniel Carr 80.
the first start looked like it was going to be in the treble and kind of flicked the flight and came out. The next one just fell out of the board. But he can try and build a stairway to tops.
60.
The 101, the minimum requirement here for Willie Borland, which is why he started on the 19s and will now go for the Bullen 25 segment.
126, Daniel Carr 20. Game shot on the third leg, Danny Smith.
Once again, another
Fourth leg Willie to throw first.
nice hole to throw for Danny Smith.
9-16 on that
83.
double 10. Borland had just got himself onto a finish, albeit a big one. Doing enough tonight, more than enough, Danny Smith.
99.
The first game of the evening, he came through that one against the darts against Harry Ward as well. So now that this is his
60.
third game, and these two have been with the darts, where he has looked fairly comfortable on own throw on 90% of the time.
43.
I don't want to jinx it. Last game, he will find that he's against the throw against Rob
58.
Grundy.
Yeah, it's getting really close in this group. The closest we've ever come, actually, to all the players finishing on the same amount of points was a couple of series ago
93.
when there was a group involving Fallon Sherrick and Lee Budgeon. They played in the last match, and if Budgeon had have won that match, he'd have finished top of the table. He actually lost it and finished
100.
bottom. That's how close that group was.
Topsy-turvy indeed. How gutted would you have been to have found
96.
that out when you walked off? Because that scenario would never have been in your mind before you went up there.
Yeah, one result away from
40.
all the players finishing
Daniel
on the same
Carr,
amount of points. Hasn't
170.
happened yet. Is tonight the night? Danny Smith looking to make it more likely. He has to win both of his remaining games for it to occur.
134.
And he's put himself in a very
William
good
Carr,
position.
160.
You would even go as far to say Borland has to take this out, and he won't take it out. Smith returns for a break of
45.
throw
Daniel Carr 36.
and to get a real vice-like grip on this game.
He doesn't want to go inside because
Game
he
shot on
hasn't
the
been
fourth
good on
leg,
nines
Danny
all
Smith.
night. But right when he asked the question of himself, he answered it himself. He got himself in it.
Fifth
He
leg
got
Danny to
himself
throw
out of it.
first. Game on.
That is a break of throw also. If Danny Smith holds throw here.
Well, I mean, we can check the statistics after, Scott, but I'm not even sure he's playing better than he
58.
did last night.
Like I say, I've done a little thing there with Grundy and with Ward
57.
and Borland after their game, and like I said, up on the balcony, Ward has dropped off 9 points and Borland had picked up 9 points. But for me, looking at Danny Smith off the top of his head, his
134.
highest average last night was 86.66, and tonight he's been like 84 and high 70s.
95.
So your suggestion is absolutely correct.
Yeah, statistically so, but in terms of actually match play, he's getting it right, isn't he?
94.
Yeah, he is getting it right. And is it the others dropping off a little and coming back down to where
60.
he is?
Yeah, well, in this match, Borland himself is high 70s and Smith is actually high 80s. 3 out of 6 on his doubles, and he looks likely to get the first go at a double in this leg as well. That's a brilliant setup.
134.
Yeah, up to this game, Borland had been running 95.91 as an average over
140.
first two
Daniel Carr,
games.
81.
Treble 19. 12 segment. Bullseye for a big win. Oh,
Game
he's
shot
done
of
it
the match,
again.
Danny
Danny
Smith.
Smith makes it a hat trick. He lost all 4 games last night, but Desperate Dan is the man. On Friday, a 4-1 success, 3 from 3, and that has made it, well, even more incredibly close in this table. Smith there actually averaging just under 90, a really good performance, 4 out of 7 on the doubles, but the 4-1 win means the table reads like this: Cole 8, Ward 6, Smith 6, now in a provisional qualification spot, Grundy 6, and Borland 6. And Cole, still needing that win to go through, takes on Harry Ward next.
Oh, Danny boy, Danny Smith, 3 wins from 3 as far as this evening's concerned. Willie Borland, his latest victim. Now, he came into tonight having not won a game throughout the duration of the evening. He's now won 3 in a spin, and in fact, he's now won more legs than any other player in the group so far over the course of 2 days' action. Granted, he has played a game extra than half of the field, but this has been a remarkable one from Desperate Dan, who's been far from that this evening. Next up for us, it is the top 2 going toe-to-toe, but both of them will be precariously looking over their shoulder for one of the ones of those behind. Jared Cole takes on Harry Ward, and once again, we say this, a win for Cole, and he's in. Here's Chris, here's Scott.
Yeah, darting deja vu for Jared Cole. Groundhog Day, same scenario. Win and you're in, but he's been in that position all evening. And Reward out to delay the progress even further. Still in the best position on 8 points, but neither of these men have won a match tonight, and both must be feeling a little worried about slipping through the net, Scott.
Yeah, bumped into Jared,
60.
and he said, I just want to get this done, but I can't stop throwing tight. I think in his last game against Grundy,
134.
Grundy did hit a 95 average, and Jared hit a 90, so not too shabby. I don't think it was anything he did wrong. I think it was more to the point that Rob Grundy did an
54.
awful lot right. Now, in this game yesterday, Cole actually hit a 106.75 against Ward. You're looking for more of that
140.
this evening, but Ward is battling for his life as well here.
100.
Neither have managed to convert and put points on the tables board this evening so far. Something has to give.
Yeah, similar nights they've had.
100.
Jared Cole has won 4 of the 12 legs he's played. Ward 5 of 13.
99. How do you car? 127.
Both Rob Grundy and Danny Smith are so far perfect. Grundy still has 2 games to play. The next is against Danny Smith. Here we go.
102.
Another little stat from last night. We had 28 180s last night, and the intensity of the situation tonight, we've had just the 12 tonight so far. So it's showing how difficult
85.
a
How do you
night
car?
all
25.
the players are finding it.
Yeah, it is indeed an intense evening's arrows at the Super Series. And you
21.
can see a little bit of that
How do you
tungsten
car?
tension there.
103.
Jared Cole, can he find some freedom? Rebel 16 was the second port of call.
55. How do you car? 4.
So apparently, 2s never lose.
Two.
Well, they did on that
How
occasion.
do you car? 48.
Jared Cole, all in on 48.
Game shot in the first leg. Jared Cole.
Taking his chance there.
Second leg, how did he throw first? Game on.
Ward, as you can see, 6 at a double in that leg.
100.
I had a chat with him and he seemed quite confident before the night started, but in danger of
60.
slipping away. Wouldn't be quite the capitulation that Jared Cole is facing at the moment, but he's now 3 legs away from just breathing
96.
a huge sigh of relief.
Exactly what I was just about to say. He's a couple of legs away from relief, more than anything. The longer it goes
43.
on, the more difficult it is to get over the line.
A reminder of the finalists already. France's Thibaut Tricot
81.
made it on Wednesday, topping Group A. He's been joined by Charlie Large, the hometown hero here in Portsmouth,
100.
ready to take to the stage for the first time at a finals night at the Live Lounge, and the entertaining German, flamboyant thrower Nico Bloom, who enjoys a bullseye,
44.
and if he's feeling especially confident, might even blow his darts into the board.
85.
I think I've actually seen a reply to that from the main darts blowing protagonist in World Darts. And I believe he said, well, he's not hitting anything.
100.
Yeah, he said he actually hits the targets, didn't he, Mr. Mardle? If you're watching, hope you well. And the challenge is on. We're happy to host it.
121. Hariuka 80.
Over the top of the darts and into the beds.
60.
Not quite.
Hariuka 92.
Again, another chance for Cole. The 92 going to go this way for the third time this evening.
60. Hariuka
No.
20.
It's the 2 to Rob Grundy on that front.
Yeah, that's his finish. Is this Harry's finish? He's now missed 7 at double in the game. 8. 9. And it's getting desperate now
Hariuka
for
32.
Harry Ward.
Game shot on the second leg. Jared Cole.
Jericho makes him pay. Sorry, it's 10 missed darts, isn't it, for Harry Ward? 6 in leg 1,
Third leg
4 in
challenge to
leg
third
2.
first. Game on.
Cole, 2 out of 3, as Meatloaf once said, ain't bad.
140.
Now
13.
these missed doubles. Fear for Harry Ward.
Well, this could be a total disaster, this game. If it carries on going the way it is,
57.
Harry Ward could find... Last game for Harry Ward as well is against Rob Grundy, who in some ways has been the player of the night. He's just looked so
140.
solid. He's down to a finish first, but you'd expect Jared Cole to leave something very nice and neat here.
140.
And he does do that.
Hariuka
48.
156.
Ward in big trouble if he doesn't take this out. But he might take it out.
138.
It's an 11th missed
Hariuka
double.
48.
On the third leg in the row that he's been there first.
Game shot on the third leg. Jared Cole.
Jared Cole playing the part of a robber here.
Fourth leg added to third first. Game on.
Yeah, and that is the problem. Harry Ward, as Scott just said, through for a double first in all 3 of those legs, but he's been unable to convert.
44.
Jared Cole has filled his boots.
$139.
Looking at the live table as we speak, because of legs
22.
1 being in Danny Smith's favour, he now somehow finds himself in second in the table on the
43.
live table.
Yeah, if this is 4-1 or 4-0, he'll stay there.
$140.
And you'd have a scenario then with Jared Cole would be free. Remember, he's this leg away from qualifying, but you'd have
100.
a situation where only Jared Cole would have a positive leg difference in the group.
$140. $140. Hariuka 155.
I think maybe Jared has had
77.
enough of the
Hariuka
angst
79.
and the stress he's put himself through this evening. It's 20 and tops to seal the deal finally.
44.
Oh dear.
Hariuka 78.
Maybe the twists and turns aren't over yet.
Yeah, Jared Cole gets a double first. Is Harry going to return the compliment by taking the leg?
39. Hariuka 35.
Yeah, the darts at double have been ropey from Ward. The one to qualify was not the best from Jared Cole, which is why he's had to waste a dart here, but he gets a go at double
Game's up
16,
in the match,
and
Jericho.
Cole clinches it. His progress has been slower than he would have hoped at the start of the night, but an emphatic 4-0 win over Harry Ward means Jared Cole is through to finals night. The King of the Castle will be on stage at the Live Lounge on Saturday. The first man through from Group B. It's a real battering of Harry Ward, who is in a whole heap of trouble now. Cole, though, through, and all of the other players in this group are on the same number of points. Two of them are up next. Robert Grundy against now second place, Danny Smith.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where Jared Cole has finally secured his spot into tomorrow night's final. He needed one win, and that is exactly what he got before the break, dismantling Harry Ward by 4-0. But other than that, as you can see there, it is tight, tight, tight. And coming up next, Danny Smith in action up against Rob Grundy. Remember, Danny Smith began tonight without a point to his name, and now is in the box seat. A 4-0 and a 4-1 win, he's in. And he can't go out regardless of the result in this match. So Chris, Scott, all yours for this, well, tight end.
Yeah, thank you very much, Henry. Well explained. Yeah, indeed, Danny Smith now has it in his hands if he wins this game. 4-1 or better, as Henry just explained, he would actually be the second player through from this group. If he loses a game, then it's looking precarious,
Looks like Rob to
especially if he
through
loses it heavily. But he would have to wait the fate of both Willie Borland and Harry Ward at that point. As for Rob Grundy, Well, victory for him here would put him in a very,
59.
very good position. But even a 4-0 win couldn't put him through yet. Of course,
58.
he is the player who has 2 games left. So we've got a strange scenario here where, yes, Danny Smith is a player in second place in the table, but Rob Grundy, who's sitting outside the spots in the group,
100.
could actually be the player maybe in the best position because of the fact he's got 2 games to play.
Yeah, and
57.
I think for me, as long as Rob Grundy's not thinking he's got 2 games to get the job done, it can be confusing in that back room when everybody starts having a little bit of input. The players do have to work it out
58.
themselves.
Jared Cole can now keep calm and start telling his mates that he's going to be here on Saturday.
99.
Not from far away, Chandler's Ford. Jared Cole joining Charlie Large and maybe even Danny Smith. It could be a real party in Pompey tomorrow night, and I would suggest
96.
if you want to come, you scan that QR code right now, because his mates and Charlie Large's mates and Jared Cole's mates will be booking the tickets. There'll be none left if you don't do it
59.
now. Dartshop.tv for those old school people like the man alongside me.
Hello. I think you're referring to me.
58.
Well, 58 from Grundy gets him to the Little Fish. But he's
45.
not going to
Rob
have to
Carl,
hook it,
130.
or certainly not the bullseye way anyway, with Smith not on a finish.
$58.
Could have left it better, couldn't he?
Yeah, he could have done. And
57.
I've seen
Rob Carl,
Danny hold his
72.
throw fairly comfortably this evening when he's had the throw and he started the game, but he's always been in front or not behind when he's had to hold his throw. That's the word I'm looking for. If he goes behind,
60. Daniel Carr, 126.
and a chance to Rob here.
Was it Rob Grundy who went 4-4-4 last week on this finish?
59. Rob
He
Carr,
only did it
12.
once. He got his fingers burnt. He went for 6-6 for the rest of the night and for the rest of his life, hopefully. It was a bizarre
Game
attempt,
shot on the
but he's
first leg.
got that
Rob
one
Grundy.
right. He leads 1-0. I also think there might have been a bit of a change of approach from Rob Grundy in this game. 3 times
Second
in
leg,
that
Danny to through first.
first
Game on.
leg, he switched to the 18s rather than the 19s. Wonder if he's feeling more comfortable with that switch than going down the board.
100.
We'll keep an eye on that. But interesting to make such a change, if he has indeed done that consciously, when he's won both his games tonight.
Yes, yeah, very much so. You
60.
wouldn't think you'd be wanting to change anything, would you?
Of course, both of these men have got perfect records tonight. Smith, 3 from 3.
100.
Grundy, 2 from 2. What a dart that is. He'll just stack one on top of that. Bit of an awkward angle
140.
with the second one, which made it harder.
Yeah, it kind of made it unusable, didn't it? Because if he'd have laid it flat on that, it'd have shot off into the one, looking at
100.
the angle of it. Danny's gone ton with his first 9 darts.
That's another perfect marker. This time goes over the top. So
100.
well, I thought he might switch, but he found some space. Gets level with Danny Smith.
93.
Switches to every target. 3 highest numbers.
Very important. Treble 18.
Well,
89.
he changed his
Daniel
mind
Carr,
last minute there, and I
108.
don't think he gave that dart full attention.
Nah, it looked like it was mid-throw, wouldn't it?
This is still salvageable. Treble 19 would have left the ball.
40.
112
Rob
for Rob
Carr,
Grundy, though.
112.
to leave Danny Smith grumpy.
Well within Grundy's range.
$88. Daniel Carr, 68.
Great dart, great start, great
Each
finish.
on the second
All
leg.
square, Danny Smith on a roll tonight.
That's just a 68 shot, but what a confidence
Third leg,
builder
we're up to through first.
that
Game
could
on.
be for Danny at this stage.
$60.
And he did all he could in that last leg. When you can't hit a double, you've got to leave one.
$92.
All of a sudden, the treble 18 switch is catching. Danny Smith's at it now.
$140. $99.
Grundy has the darts, of course, in this game, which makes it less likely Smith will get the big win he needs to ensure qualification after the match. But if he wins the game by any
100.
score, he's in a very strong position. The only problem is the position he'll be in for the rest of the night is watching everybody else.
Which is harder than playing, I
100.
can tell you. Watching and waiting and hoping for results to go your way.
We mentioned the fact that in the previous match
41.
he moved up to second in the table without playing. He could actually go from second to bottom if he loses all the remaining legs in this game. That's how tight this group has been.
160.
Another big treble 18 from Danny Smith with the last dart. Grundy looks to have the eye of the tiger there, doesn't he? Absolutely
100.
staring at
Daniel
that like
Carr,
Superman, like he's trying to
117.
burn a hole in the treble 20.
Double 19, the target for Smith. We've said it before, but 60 is a
43.
perfect two-dart finish for Rob Grundy. He can put a marker just below double top and then use it to lay it on top and into the double 20 bed. It's probably just a bit too far away from the target.
40.
And it allows
Daniel
Smith a
Carr,
break chance.
74.
And going back to that last visit of Danny Smith, he threw his first two darts, had a look at the scoreboard, then went back to the 18s. And hit a big four, and now he's made another mistake.
34. Rob Carr, 20.
74, you should be getting a dart at something. That's the nervous situation of the situation.
Yeah. Well, that was pretty nervy as well from Rob Grundy, but he
Each on
puts
the
it
third
right on
leg.
double
Rob
5.
Grundy.
Leads 2-1. Danny Smith will be made to rue
Fourth
that
leg
missed
Danny to through
opportunity, that
first. Game on.
mistake that Grundy has punished.
How much has it affected Danny? We'll see over the next 6 darts, I'm sure.
100.
Solid again. Starts with a ton.
Just to reiterate, even if he loses this match, even if he
100.
loses every single leg in this match and drops to the bottom of the table, he still wouldn't be out. He could actually sit back and watch results go for him, and he just climbs back up into those qualification spots. It's quite bizarre.
28.
That's a poor visit from Smith under the circumstances. The first dart was under the treble 20, tried to find a way by. Caught the flight into the 5, and then with the disappointment of that,
57.
dragged one down into the 3. Whilst going for 19s.
$54.
Grundy didn't hurt him too much with his visit, but he's done himself no favours here. Needed a big treble.
$46.
Grundy now heading back down to the 19s after having a little dabble on the 18s.
Getting a little annoyed with himself. Danny Smith would have sensed that. Oh,
And
it's
he-
real B5 fun stuff.
He'll be even more annoyed with himself now because he'll believe that he gave him the opportunity by not hitting a treble in front of him.
Yeah, and by reacting. Not just the darts, but it's the
140, Daniel Carr,
mindset as well. Gave something to his opponent, both on the board and off it. But he could go treble 13. The problem with going that route is if he had gone treble 19, he'd be on a double when he comes back. He's going to have to use a dart to get there. Maybe I should apologise for saying when he comes back. It's if he comes back. No, it's when. It's when.
Yeah, it's one of those. And Danny, once again, didn't decide before he started his visit.
Daniel Carr, 56.
He decided after the first dart. So, no thought in his head now other than double top. Double 10's been good to him tonight.
Game shot on the fourth
And
leg.
it's been good to him once again. An 18 dart leg and hold of throw.
Game on.
Well, they're not performances of darts that have been rolled in glitter from the pair of them, but these are two players that haven't been beaten tonight.
100.
Who will buckle?
Oh, Murph, these are the days you play for to find out about yourself in a situation.
58.
Some will make it through to finals night. Others will have to go away and learn lessons
60.
for the next appearance. Harsh ones, because it'll be a feeling for whoever goes out in this group now of being so close yet so far.
38.
Now, for me, Smith has taken the pace of his throw away in the last couple of throws. And when he throws that little bit quicker, he's definitely more fluent and more accurate. The thought process is coming in, and he's throwing more like Grundy at the moment at
135.
Grundy's pace. Whereas Danny's natural pace is a little quicker than that.
Well,
Well, he got a bit of bad luck thrown into the mix as well there, Danny Smith.
Another broken stem. Maybe heading back to the mechanics table.
$60.
Well, he's still okay here. Only really a maximum can hurt Rob Grundy.
81. Rob Carr, 146. $130.
Treble 19 would have left him 32, but up for a treble 18. Believe himself.
44.
Double 8.
Rob
Same
Carr,
region of the
16.
board.
So Grundy still hunting down that target. Smith shaking his head
No
because he's
score.
watching Rob Grundy miss, and he knows he's not in a position to do anything about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a situation where Smith will be thinking it's his last game and
99.
his last
Rob Carr,
opportunity
16.
to add to the board. And should Grundy take this out here,
Game shot on the
Danny
fifth
Smith
leg.
now
Rob Grundy.
has huge pressure to hold his throw.
Well, we now know that Danny Smith will not
Six
go
leg Danny to
through
throw
or
first.
out
Game on.
at the end of this game, whatever happens. We also know that Rob Grundy will be on 8 points and will finish above Danny
93.
Smith. So Smith will be then praying for Grundy to go and beat Harry Ward in his last match, and for Jared Cole to do the same against Willie Borland by margins enough that will keep him
60.
in the top 3.
But I can see here Grundy feeling the pressure Danny
100.
trying to smile his way through it is the way to see how it's funny what situation will do to you. Gobbledygooks your mind.
134.
Have to stay positive.
$58.
But keeping it close is important for Danny Smith. Losing this match by a 4-2 or 4-3 margin, which is the worst case scenario for him, makes it simple.
140.
Because it means that it doesn't matter the margin of scoreline in the last game. If Cole and Grundy can beat Borland and Ward, he will have enough
60. Rob your
to
car,
get through.
167.
So actually, despite the disappointment in this game, the two legs that he's got might actually be all important.
My line of thought now would be
122.
to stay close to Grundy, as close as you can, and try and give yourself a chance.
57. Rob your car,
Another treble-less
45.
visit for Danny Smith. Yes, he's on a shot, but it's definitely advantage Grundy.
Double 16 to get the win.
Game
And
shot in the match.
Grundy's
Rob Grundy.
perfect night continues. Danny Smith now has a long night ahead of him. He'll be waiting in the wings for the outcome of the last couple of games. Grundy is playing in one of those, so very much in his own hands when he takes on Harry Ward in the curtain closer. Jared Cole against Willie Borland before that. Cole already through. Danny Smith neither through nor out after that 4-2 defeat, but he will have to sit back, wait, and watch the last couple of games and see how the drama unfolds, and so should you.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where it's squeaky bum time now for Danny Smith. A 4-2 defeat to Rob Grundy before the break means that he ended the day with 3 wins from 4, and he is waiting in the lounge to see whether he is going to be able to depart his way into tomorrow night's final. Jared Cole's going to be there. Rob Grundy may well be on the cusp. Ward, Smith, Borland all on 6. And it is Borland in action now. He takes on Jared Cole in this one. Defeat for Willie will see him eliminated. However, a win by 4-0 or 4-1, he is through to tomorrow night's final. Must admit quietly because both players can hear on stage. Right, let's hand down to Scott and Chris.
Thank you very much, Henry. Yes, it's a really important game, this one, between Willie Borland and Jared Cole. Oh, they can't hear us in here, can they, Scott? Okay, well, let's just get on with it. As Henry was saying, if you didn't quite hear him, Cole just needs a leg to confirm himself as a group winner. Willie Borland needs a win to keep himself in the qualification
Game
scenarios. But if he wins 4-0 or 4-1, then he is through at the end of this match. And that will help.
Yeah, little H up there on the balcony with his little voice. Lovely to hear. Or not to hear, maybe the question. But Willie Borland,
82.
as we say in the darting world, there's only one way from a 180, and that's downhill. He
55.
opens up with a 180, but that will settle him nicely. Massively important game. I think he's one of the players that would have
55.
worked out the scenarios. They'd have all been chatting away, trying to work it out in the back room.
99.
Some will have not grasped it at all, and some will know exactly what they're doing. My advice is, as a player in this situation, just go win your game.
85.
But Danny Smith can't do that now, can he? He's already played all his games. But I can tell you for him, so for those who want Danny Smith to get through, this is what needs to happen. Jared Cole needs to win this match, and then Rob Grundy needs to beat Harry Ward. If those two things happen, then Danny Smith will sneak through to finals night.
45. Willie Carr, 36.
Borland looking to draw first blood, and does.
He's on the first leg.
On
Willie
double
Borland.
18.
Second leg, Jared to throw first. Game on.
Basically, to go through, you're going to need to be in second place after this
81.
match. So, a victory for Jared Cole here
59.
would mean that Rob Grundy
60.
would be through before he plays, because he'd have that buffer of a player between himself and Danny Smith.
140.
I'd like to throw a scenario in here, the spanner in the works. We've had 8 games so far.
96.
6 have been won with the darts, and in the last 2 games, it's Willie Borland and Harry Ward that have the darts. Just saying.
94.
Well, the only way that Grundy could go out is if both those players win. He's playing in one of the matches. He's playing Harry Ward. But if he loses to him and Borland beats Cole,
140.
depends on the margin of victory, of course, but that's the only way he could go out. So he's in the best spot. He's on 8 points already. Second place in the table. Looks like he's making it back-to-back finals nights. But
60.
still 4 players fighting out to join Cole in the money matches on Saturday. Now, he's looking for a 1-2-4 checkout. Treble 18 would give him a go at the bullseye. Not to beat.
92. Willie Carr, 148.
Jared Cole won this corresponding
56.
fixture
Carr, 32.
yesterday 4-2. Just to throw another little banner in the works.
No score. Willie Carr, 92. $76. Jared Carr, 32.
Well, there was a little accidental dropping of a dart there. apologise. Maybe just knocked him out of his stride a little bit, but no hard feelings, I'm sure.
Game shot on the second leg. Jared Cole.
All square.
Third leg, Willie to throw first. Game
Absolutely
on.
that. Just to explain that yellow strip you can see around the outside of the mat
180.
is it's not carpet. It's something hard. It's a hard plastic strip to stop the carpet moving. So
59.
had Willie Borland dropped his dart on that piece of yellow strip around the outside of the carpet, it would have made a noise, and that's
100.
probably the noise that Jared Cole heard.
I see you've learned something for next week now, Scott.
Absolutely. I'll probably miss it now, my luck.
So just in the
116.
scenarios, now that we have arrived at one each, if Jared Cole wins one more leg, it will mean that Willie
60.
Borland's fate will remain uncertain until after the last match. Has to win 4-0 or 4-1 in this one to go through, but Jared Cole has got the leg that he needed to ensure he will be the group
Willie
winner.
Carr, 161. $136.
Well, he went for it. He had no need to go for it.
$97. Willie Carr, 25.
Borland
Game
cleans
shot
up,
on the third leg. Willie Borland.
denies Jared Cole a go at that 170. So 2-1 to Willie
Fourth
Borland,
leg
and that
started to throw first.
opportunity for
Game
him
on.
to go through at the end of this match remains. In fact, it could be the perfect match. We had it this afternoon, didn't we? Where
60.
Nico Bloom needed one leg in a match that Charlie Large
96.
needed a couple to win the group, and both things happened. Well, here, Jared Cole needed one leg to win the group. Willie Borland needs a 4-1 win to get through. So both those things could still happen.
Yeah, they certainly
24.
could.
$97.
Taking his time here, Jared Cole. Not happy with his performances tonight, seemingly, but he should just cool down because he is through. He has won the group.
140.
Could be a happy camper.
162.
Is it there from Borland? Retable 18s. That's the first time we've seen that
Willie Carr, 146.
in the last couple of days, particularly in Group B.
138.
Borland, that's his brilliant best here.
100.
With the short
Willie
iron,
Carr,
setting
8.
himself up on this double four.
So, for 3-1.
4. Jared Carr, 120.
120 for JC. Well, he could do the bull thing. We've seen him do this before. He's stepped across, so he's going to stay on the treble.
50. Willie Carr, 4.
Maybe the bull was a better option.
Game shot on the fourth leg. Willie Borland. Fifth leg, Willie to throw first. Game on. 57.
But just a reminder now, if Willie Borland wins this leg, he's through. He'll join Jared Cole, and it will eliminate Danny Smith.
100.
And it will be a match between Harry Ward and Rob
43.
Grundy that will decide everything else. And it'll be a match that
45.
would basically be a straight shootout. More on that later, but yeah.
58.
Borland wins, he's through. Cole's already through. And if Borland wins, Danny Smith is out. It all comes down to Grundy Ward in the last match of the night as we it might. Every match has had something on it.
49.
Yeah, and that's been the continuation, I think, from the Grundy balling game of game 2.
99.
We could have had a really easy night had that gone the other way and Rob Grundy not won it, but
57.
it's turned into a mathematician's night on the table.
But it'll become simple in the last match if Borland does win this leg, and it looks like he might.
180.
Because there's only 2 legs difference between Grundy and Ward, which means whatever scoreline Harry wins by, he'll cancel that out. He'd have more legs won than Grundy if he did win.
60. Willie McCarr, 64. Game shot
And
of the
then
match.
Willie
Willie
Borland
Borland.
has done the job. A 4-1 win sees him through. Jared Cole got the 1 leg he needed to win the group, but Willie Borland got the scoreline he needed to qualify. He's done it in the end. He looks like he knew it as well. A 4-1 success, and he goes through alongside Jared Cole. The other story in that one is that Danny Smith is now eliminated. He will not be at finals night tomorrow. It'll be Harry Ward or Rob Grundy, and they are going to face off in the final match of the night after the break.
Welcome back to the Super Series. We're joined up here on the balcony by Willie Borland. Willie, congratulations through to Saturday night, but that was hard work, wasn't it, this evening?
No, definitely. You know what I mean? Obviously, I knew what I had to do to get through, and then to lose the first game 4-3 was kind of gutting because I felt like I was the better player in the game, and doubles kind of killed me. But then I knew, like obviously, like group format, just keep playing the way I'm playing because I feel like I've been steady. throughout the full week, I feel like I've had maybe 1 or 2 bad games that have kind of like killed me in stages, but no, like, I feel like I've been overall consistent for the week.
How nervy was tonight for you, especially towards the latter ends?
Obviously, like, I was nervous, but obviously I knew that I believed like I could have done it no matter what. And obviously after I lost the first game, I was thinking, right, well, obviously I've got a couple of hard games to go. Then I kind of looked at the Danny Smith game as like a banker, which obviously at the end of the day he's played so well, and that's not obviously the way you should be looking at things. But then I just obviously struggled against him. But the 2 games that I've had to win, and you get over the line, it's been brilliant. So happy.
Yes, you're through to tomorrow night's final, but you almost have to now, because of what's happened tonight, just almost decompartmentalise and just try and maybe look at tomorrow as a fresher tournament.
No, definitely, it's a knockout. So obviously, I feel in knockouts you see the kind of the bigger players like prevail into the later stages. So I feel like I've played good enough throughout the week to go far. So I'm looking forward to it. I feel like I'm going to win it.
Do you feel the knockout stages it worked to your favour because there's no worrying about legs difference, no worrying about legs one or margins, things like that? It's just win you in, lose you go home. It can actually be simplified to a certain extent.
No, definitely. Obviously, you've still got the group games to go. Like, obviously, tomorrow night you've got a group of 3. It's basically if you win, obviously you need to try and keep the leg difference good. So if you win 1 game, you're pretty much, depending on leg difference, you're guaranteed to be into the semis. So tomorrow I'm just looking to play my own game and hopefully just qualify for the semi-finals with ease.
Well, we look forward to watching you tomorrow night, Willie. Many congratulations on your efforts this evening. We're going to see Willie balling through to tomorrow night's final. Harry Ward and Rob Grundy are in our final game, and we're going to see who that final spot is going to go to. Let's hand down to Scott and Chris.
Yeah, finally, it's pretty simple as well. Whoever wins this match will go through, but what a disaster it would be for Rob Grundy if that should be the case. Now, let's just remind you of this pair's record tonight. Rob Grundy has played 3 matches and won 3 matches. Harry Ward has played 3 matches and lost 3 matches. Yet if Ward wins this one, he will go through, Grundy will go home, and the finals night field
First leg out, it is through
feature
first.
Big H for the 3rd successive time. If Grundy wins, however, he'll be in finals night just like he was last Saturday at Champions Night, Scott.
Absolutely. So let's throw another scenario in. Last night when they played, Harry Ward hit his highest average of 104. 135.16 against Rob Grundy. And ironically, Rob Grundy had his highest average last night against Harry Ward with a 96.95.
Yeah, it was a spectacular curtain raiser. Could it be a similar curtain closer? Any scoreline is enough for Harry Ward, despite the fact that he is the one
78.
sitting outside the qualification place at the moment. It's fallen perfectly for him. If he wins this 4-3, he'd actually go through by virtue of the head-to-head record because every other metric would be the same. So that 167 he hit against him in the match you just spoke about that turned the game in his favour could actually end up being the most important shot in this group, despite the fact it happened in the very first match.
140.
Yeah, it very much did. And going to be a harsh scenario for whichever one of these
148.
players does not go through.
That Willie Borland result has really put them in peril the way he won that match. Did enough
60.
to get himself
Rob
through.
McCall, 145.
Derek Cole still topped the table. That's a way off for Rob Grundy. Ward has the advantage, of course, of having the throw in this game. He's had spells, though, tonight where he's just missed bucket loads of
121.
darts and doubles.
88.
Yeah, that was a big deflection there for Grundy.
Well, that's a big disaster for Harry Ward, and another one quickly follows it. So Rob Grundy
32.
might get a chance to break
Rob
immediately.
McCall, 24.
Yeah, if Harry saw that big deflection and saw the luck that went into the treble 20 for Grundy, does it make you start thinking it's just not my night? Now Grundy has only got that top corner to aim at, really.
No score.
Yeah, couldn't find a way
Out of
through.
your car, 56.
The dangling darts blocking the bed. Rob Grundy losing his head.
What do if Ward takes this double 10?
36. Rob your car, 24.
Right. He wants to stick it straight in this time. No more messing, no more missing, no more blocking. Well, he doesn't block anything, and he does like double six. He's been effective on this target. That's a way off. And this is what was happening on Champions Night and last Friday, actually, in trying to get through to it. He was
18.
dragging a lot of darts
Out of
at
your
double
car,
low.
20.
Rob Grundy. This is real tension between the pair of them. Both men know what's at stake, and neither man can
No
get off
score.
the mark
Rob
in
your
this
car,
match
6.
yet.
I think it's showing how tense this game really is, the importance of it. You can practice the whole of your life, but you cannot practice this situation.
No score. Out of
Well,
your car, 20.
Someone needs a settler. Somebody needs something just to calm down the arrow's anxiety. And that is a way off as well. Can't afford to come inside here. Puts it a long way away from doing that.
Each
But a
on the
good
first
adjustment
leg.
from Harry Ward. And it might be a leg won in 24 throws, but it could be the most significant leg
Second leg,
that
Rob
we
to
will
throw
see, because
first.
he
Game on.
has now hit a double. Rob Grundy will still be reeling.
I expected to see Harry Ward, with his experience, do that kind of above the double five to make sure he was still in it. Worst case scenario, you don't want to be walking to the board with a dart in your hand, knowing that you're done and out. So Grundy then comes in with a 180. He'll be thinking, well, that was just, I was against the throw there. It's just gone with throw. That's how you would have to convince yourself of that situation.
But it's a short format, and he's the one who has to break at some point. He's missed 8 darts to break.
57.
So the fact he did hit back with the 180 shows his character, but there must be a part of you that thinks, how can I miss 8 darts at double and then put 3 in a smaller target?
Yeah. You think it for 3 darts, but
41.
those 3 darts were a 180. So he was thinking more positively. That sign that was a 180 is telling me that he was thinking more positively about it. Didn't quite back it up with anything, but he hasn't
58.
He hasn't got to at this particular moment, because Ward is only, he came in with 134 and then didn't back it at a 41.
Really talking to himself there,
96.
Rob Grundy, as well. Haven't seen an awful lot of that this week. We saw plenty of it in the drama of trying to qualify for Champions Night last week. Well, you might end up in this group. I mean, you're hoping to avoid
81.
the peril of being in Thursday and Friday, Scott, but are you the type of player that will be looking at the permutations, trying to work out what you need to do?
No, I'm not one of those. I try to keep it very simple and try and win
60.
as many games as I
Rob your car,
can.
125.
And that I know it sounds a cliche, but if there are people in the room trying to talk about it and listen about it, I will probably switch off. I'd rather not know and try and get on with my job. But sometimes not knowing does make you apprehensive out there, because you're thinking, oh, should I?
89.
So, yeah,
Out of your car,
some would rather know. I'm one of
170.
those that don't.
Well, Harry Ward needs a big finish here. Now, Grundy's going to get more opportunities. He missed 8 darts in the
42.
opening leg of
Rob your
this
car,
match. There was
36.
some real caginess about the double attempts from both players, to be fair. Can Rob Grundy put it right here? Well, he's made it harder for himself. Oh, there can't be a way in. Somebody call a locksmith. Well, Rob Grundy looks like he started heading home already just to throw the dart.
18.
It was never
Out of
going to
your
go
car,
in. It was
128.
almost mission impossible, that.
$88. Rob your car, 18.
Pressure asserted. Split for double 8.
You can see the sense in that.
Game shot on
And
the
it's worked
second
out
leg.
for Rob Grundy.
Grundy.
Smart stuff. Took a bit of pressure away from himself. A leg, a match that's just been
Third leg out, he did throw
filled
first. Game on.
with pressure, darting duress, tension. going for double nine just fuels that, doesn't it? So that little split
58.
really did Grundy good, and it's all square at 1 apiece.
$121. $58. $55.
Well, both are struggling, and you can understand it so much on this match. Because both of these players are more than capable of winning tomorrow night should they get there. Rob Grundy's done it before. Harry Ward's knocked on the door.
140.
Back-to-back semi-finals in his last 2 appearances.
$30.
Scrappy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is scrappy, but it's understandable.
$85.
As I said earlier, you cannot practice this type of tension.
Well, around this time in their match last night, Harry Ward stuck in a huge 167 checkout. It turned the game totally towards him. He's looking at 160 here. Not going to take it out, but he's going to put himself in a decent spot. Remember, it's Grundy who's won all 3 of his games. Ward's lost all 3 of his, but it's Rob that needs to get a break in this game. Otherwise, he'll be heading home to Hartlepool.
140. Are you car 60?
Pressure applied over to Harry Ward.
Game shot on the 3rd leg. Harry Ward.
Well, that is a good dart from Harry Ward, and the jostling for position continues with every leg won. One of them
Game on.
goes ahead of the other into 3rd place in the table. Jared Cole through, Willie Borland through, and whoever wins this match will join them.
45.
That slip from Grundy. It is now. Oh, it is now.
180.
Harry Ward's 12th 180 of this group. Is it going to be the most important
97.
180 of them all?
Making his move. That was proper punishment after a 45 opener from Rob Grundy on throw.
57.
No backing up of the maximum from Ward. If Grundy can conjure up something similar himself, then the leg is back level.
$59.
Actively 40 in front plus these.
60.
96 in front. Doesn't have the throw. So Grundy is going to need another treble
100.
to bother Harry Ward. Throw is turned.
$100.
What a good last dart that was.
Grundy will want to at least halve his score here. He's worked his way back into this leg. Ward's only going to get 1 dart at double maximum. Really needs to find the treble. Does
100.
find the treble.
Are you car 104.
Perfectly poised now, this leg. Ward has first go. It's a 3-darter for him, a 2-darter for Grundy. Treble 16 he's going for. Double 18 he's going
Game shot on
for.
the
Double
4th
18
leg.
he's
Harry
getting.
Ward.
And Harry Ward now puts himself on the brink of qualification. And Rob Grundy is
Let's make Harry
clinging
to throw
to the
first.
cliff edge.
Game on. $140.
ridiculous drama we've had to end the evening. I say end the evening, all throughout the
97.
night in Group B. But Harry Ward might have just saved his skin with a last match win, having lost all of his matches tonight before it. Rob Grundy had won all his.
180.
And then 180, his second of the match. Ward has just picked up the pace on time, in time.
83.
And Rob Grundy left disappointed last Saturday on Champions Night when he didn't make it through the group. He looks like he's going to leave disappointed
100.
just 6 days later, having not made it through Group B. And it will be a cruel departure after all those victories. All three other opponents
59.
before Big H have been
Harioka,
beaten.
81.
And it looks like he's about to lose against a man who hadn't won. Harry has just hit the heights towards the back end of this
49.
match, and he sets up double 16 to send Grundy crashing through the tungsten trapdoor and to seal his own Saturday spot at the Super Series.
96. Harioka, 32.
This to seal it.
Game,
And
shot
Harry
in the match.
Ward
Harry Ward.
is through to finals night. Not only that, he actually finishes second in the table ahead of Willie Borland, who goes through with him. Jared Cole tops the group, but Rob Grundy, in cruel fashion, heads out. A 4-1 success for Harry Ward, his only win of the night. Rob Grundy's only defeat, but it's the only one that matters in the end. Ward goes through, Grundy goes home as Ward wins 4-1.
Yeah, so it's Harry Ward that sees himself into tomorrow night's final. What a night of drama we've enjoyed, Scott Mitchell.
It has been from game 2, the scenarios and the number crunching and it's just been an exciting evening, and what a way for Harry Ward to finish that off. I mean, blimey, why wait till then to go and produce that, you know? But you just don't choose. As a player, you don't choose. It happens when it's happened. And, will he have some confidence now going into tomorrow? He won't be thinking of the 3 games he lost. He'll be thinking about how he stood up there and won that last game when he needed it.
Well, let's have a look at the results from tonight, because it's felt like Group B has been a little bit like a Missy Elliott track, where we've kind of flipped it and reversed it tonight compared to what we saw on Thursday.
Yeah, absolutely. It's well, I think we're just out of breath. I've just lost for words for the way that it's all gone. The scenarios came back, and Danny Smith, he was in it for one bit. It's one of those nights, an exciting Group B to say the least.
Well, the unhappiest man this evening is the man who topped the group, Jared Cole, who won all 4 yesterday. Only the one victory tonight that came against Harry Ward. It sealed his place through. Here we go. This is him getting the better of Harry Ward here. Well, he's going to have to do something tonight, hasn't he, to get himself back up for tomorrow?
Yeah, but I think, you know, we spoke that maybe it'd have been better to win 3 on the first night and win a couple tonight to get through for his 5, and then his confidence would have been a bit higher. But he was tremendous on the first night, and yeah, it's messed his mind a little bit. But maybe it'll put him back on it again tomorrow, because you know they're all starting again, little mini groups tomorrow. I think he needs to just forget today, or later today, of course, I should say. Forget what's happened tonight and fresh start tomorrow.
As for Willie Borland, he was very much relieved when he got over the line. One of those players who beat Jared Cole. That was in his final game to secure his place through. He's the type of player, isn't he, Willie, that tomorrow night come to this knockout type of environment that could come into his own?
Particularly off the back of that, we're saying that Jared may not have much confidence with the way that he's made finals night. Willie will have an awful lot of confidence through the way that he knew he had to go and get that game. He got his head down, got the game convincingly. Let's be honest with it. So he will go with a little bit of momentum into tomorrow night, which makes him very dangerous indeed.
Most certainly. Right, this is how the table finishes up in the end. Jared Cole, the victor, on 10 points. Danny Smith down the bottom, winning 3 out of 4 tonight, but Ward, Borland and Grundy all on 8 points. Hard lines to Rob, because he's made finals night every single time he's come here, apart from tonight, made a Champions Week final last time out. It just missed out in the end.
Yeah, missing out on legs difference is pretty harsh as a player, but he knows that he didn't perform in that last game, and that's the one that's really cost him.
Right, here's the groups for tomorrow evening. 2 pools of 3. So Group 1, Tipper Tricol, Nico Blum and Harry Ward. That feels nasty.
It's looking nasty from where I'm stood. And even Group 2, it's kind of the young guns, isn't it? I mean, look at that Group 2 there. Borland, Large and Cole. Well, I should be tuning in anyway. That's all I can tell you.
I was going to say, Scott, I've enjoyed the last couple of days working with you. We've had some good fun, haven't we?
We've had some good fun indeed, discussing varying things. So I'm going to get a couple of days off and we'll be back, and you can maybe be discussing me, maybe. I don't know.
Well, we'll be talking about you. Don't worry about that, Scott. It's been a pleasure. Good luck next week. We'll see you tomorrow night, 7:30 sharp, when we're going to replace Scotty Dog for the asset, Paul Nicholson. And we're going to see the finals as well and see who the first player through to Champions Week in Series 6 is going to be. And this is going to be quite the closely run thing. You get the sense if tonight's anything to go by. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.